On today's Part of My Take, we have Danny and Lucy Devito in studio. Great interview with the two of them. We also are going to do all of our picks. Learn a lot during the picks segment this week. We have Fantasy Lads, we have Fyre Fest of the week, and of course, Thursday Night Football. What a game. Amazon Prime. Welcome to the new age. And we are brought to you by our friends at Dazn Pay-Per-View this Saturday night. Dazn Pay-Per-View has Canelo versus Triple G. I'm in Las Vegas as we speak. I'll be on the call with Dave, Robbie, and we have Ron and Caleb as well. And Large, it's going to be incredible. These guys are going to absolutely put on a show. The trilogy, Dazn Pay-Per-View. Go sign up at Dazn. You can buy the pay-per-view Saturday night from Las Vegas. Fights will be starting right when college football is ending. Perfect way to finish your night. And again, you can hear us on the call. So go check it out. Dazn Pay-Per-View. That's DAZN.com. Dazn Pay-Per-View. Check it out. Triple G Canelo. It's going to be an awesome, awesome fight night. Two guys that are absolute warriors. And the trilogy, nothing better than a trilogy in boxing. So Dazn Pay-Per-View. Check it out. Las Vegas. Live from Las Vegas Saturday night. Buy it and support us and watch some great fights. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Dazn Pay-Per-View this Saturday night. Canelo versus Triple G. I'm in Las Vegas. I'll be on the call. Buy the pay-per-view. It's going to be a hell of a night. Today is Friday, September 16th, and Amazon Prime, they have done it. What a game. What a night. Jeff Bezos, our overlord, he owns us all. He gives us football, and it was a great game. Chargers, Chiefs. PFT, I know that we both bet the Chargers. Yeah. I was actually coming back to the hotel, and I was scrolling Twitter, and I saw Patrick Mahomes on with our good friend Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I was like, why are they interviewing him? And I was like, oh, yeah, the Chiefs won the game. I forgot that part.
Yeah, because it did feel like an incredible comeback for the Chargers after they gave the game away. And let's be real, like, the game was over when Justin Herbert threw that pick six, and then they marched down the field. Justin Herbert confirmed has that dog in him now after for a moment having absolutely zero dog inside of him when he pulled up on that third down scramble. And he could have taken like two more steps, gotten the first down. I was ready to motherfuck him. I was ready to bury him. And then he drops back in the pocket, puts an absolute dime on his receiver's hands. And then the Chargers, just an amazing come-from-behind victory for the entire city of Los Angeles. But you're right, like after that was over, it was so anticlimactic after that point. It felt like a win for sure. The memes about Justin Herbert and the dog, we're getting out of hand with the dog memes. Can I just say that? Like, yeah. I think the dog memes have reached their apex. With Justin Herbert, it should have been like a dog inside of him gnawing on his shattered rib bones like a cartoon bulldog, visiting the butcher shop like you used to watch in the old like Disney cartoons. Because Justin Herbert's ribs are really, really fucked up. And as our colleague Stephen Shea pointed out, not a great combination historically for team doctors, pain-killing shots, and Los Angeles Chargers quarterbacks. But I think, Justin Herbert, He's very, very, very good, but I think he's also very, very, very injured right now.
He's very, very injured. I am at this moment, people know me as a rib doctor first and foremost before anything else. Not bad gambler, by the way. I have now run the streak to 0-11 on picks I've given out on advisors. I've been smart enough to fade my past self with my current self, so it hasn't been that much of a disaster in real life, but 0-11 is impressive. But I am ready to give up my role as rib doctor because TJ Hushmanzada, I have to read you guys this tweet. I don't know if you saw it. He said, for someone who has broken his ribs at least 10 to 15 times, Justin Herbert has cartilage issues or has a broken rib. TJ Hushmanzada burying the lead there. He's broken his ribs 15 times. How is he still alive?
10 to 15
That's got to be 15 ribs.
Yeah.
10 to 15 times?
10 to 15. Well, it's not that unheard of. I've broken my ribs probably 6 or 7 times.
No way.
Yeah, swear to God.
When was the last time?
Probably 2012. Like rib injuries happen very frequently in contact sports. It's very common.
That, but 15 times is more than 6.
Yes, he was definitely like a possession receiver that would get hit in the midsection line. 15 times is a lot. I will see your rib tweet and I will raise you a Skip Bayless tweet. I don't know if you saw this one. Our darling Jake pointed this out as we were getting ready to record part of my take. Here's an actual Skip Bayless tweet from 8:52 p.m. You ready? Chiefs trick y'all, man. They don't play no defense. Skip Bayless.
Nice try, Skip. I mean, that is we should talk about the Chiefs. That was a game that the Chiefs, I don't know if you want to do the cliche of like championship DNA, finding games to win that you're not at your best, because they were not at their best. Patrick Mahomes, by my count, threw like 4 interceptions that were either bailed out by flags or guys just blatantly dropping them. They didn't look like the better team tonight, but because they are the Chiefs, they found a way to win, and Patrick Mahomes still made a couple plays where you're like, yep, he's the only guy in the world who can do that. Like, he's the only guy who can do what he just did, and that's why the Chiefs, even when they look on a night where they look like they're the inferior opponent, because I think we'd all agree, like, the Chargers felt like they were in control of that game up until the pick 6. And Patrick Mahomes, though, he just always keeps you in games, always keeps you around it. And the pick 6, we know Everett. Shout out to Amazon, Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels. Like, that's a great duo. I know that, like, that's just I always want to compliment, because we do sometimes complain about announcers. Kirk is the best, and Al is obviously the GOAT. But them figuring it out right away that Everett was asking out of the game and clearly like was completely gassed. So much so that the interception gets thrown and the only thing he's worrying about is picking up his mouth guard. That changed the entire game. That was like the games on the fringes where the Mahomes interceptions are all called back for penalties or dropped, and then Herbert has one interception that goes for pick 6.
Yeah, the Everett play, it was very recognizable to anybody that's ever played pickup sports in their life, where like if you're playing basketball and you run down the court and you make like a block on defense, and then you start half-assing your way back up the court, and then you just kind of put your hands on your knees and stop, and you're like, this isn't worth it. Like, I'm too tired right now. He ran the laziest stick route that I've ever seen in my life. He got like halfway through, and he's like, I'm fucking tired. Like, what do you want me to do? Yeah. I just ran like 30 yards and got tackled by a bunch of big dudes. I need to be out of this football game right now. You know what? I'm going to blame Justin Herbert for that pick 6 and not Everett, because he should have thrown the ball to him. He should have known that Everett was tired and asking out of the game, and he should have gone to somebody else. And you know what? Here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, like, if Justin Herbert's the guy that he's supposed to be, and by the way, the guy that he's supposed to be are just like what other people in the media are saying that he is, but if he's that guy, then he needs to be able to make the decision to go somewhere else with that ball and not to your receiver who's puking all over himself.
And I do think that's partly coaching too, because Everett was clearly asking out of the game, and they're running hurry up, and he's totally gassed. Like, it would be one thing if he wasn't asking out of the game, and then he runs that lazy route, and the pick 6 happens. You're like, dude, what are you doing? But it was so apparent that he had nothing left in the tank. You got to get him. You got to find a way to get him out of the game, because then that's what happens. And there was some, I don't know, maybe the media has bullied Brandon Staley. I know that the line of thinking is his defense is now good enough that he doesn't have to take the risks that he once took. And I buy that, because the Chargers defense is very good. And they have like playmakers, Derwin James, JC Jackson, Bosa, and Mack. Like, they have guys everywhere that are making big plays. And their defense, when you think about it, what they held the Chiefs to 20 points on offense. Like, if you go into a game with the Kansas City Chiefs at home and you're like, our defense holds them to 20 offensive points, like, you sign up for that every single time. So they played well. But Brandon Staley, there was 4th and 2 at KC 47 punt, 4th and 2 at KC 48 punt, 4th and 2 at the Chargers 33. That was a punt, but that was a play that he would have gone for that last year. Like, he's definitely coaching differently, and I guess we should commend him, because we've always said that you shouldn't just go strictly by analytics, and he's going by his team now. He's like, I have a defense that can play. Like if we pin a team deep, I'll give my defense a chance instead of potentially giving the Chiefs the ball at midfield.
I was upset when he wasn't going for it in the first half, though, because there were plays where even normally aggressive head coaches would have gone for it. It's almost like Brandon Staley flew too close to the sun last year. And you know how in the Matrix you get red pilled or you get blue pilled, and the blue pill is like the one you say, fuck this, I'm just going to go back to ordinary life. Brandon Staley blue pilled himself, and he's going back to being just like a normal conservative coach, punting on 4th and 2nd, 4th and 3rd. I don't like that. I like Brandon Staley a little crazy. I don't like it when he does the thing where he goes for it on 4th and 2 from like your own 18-yard line like he did one time last year. That's a little out of hand. But I think he was right more than he was wrong last year. And when you're in the opponent's half, especially if it's against the Chiefs, like go for it. Roll the dice a little bit. And granted, it should have worked. I guess maybe this is like hindsight being 2020 because it might have been the right call. Their defense was good enough. They made Patrick Mahomes very uncomfortable all night. The reason why they lost was because of that pick six that happened right at the goal line. But I still think be aggressive and go for it a little bit. You have a very good offense. And the more I think about it, the more this Chargers game tonight, this was like old school Chargers.
Oh, it's peak Chargers.
They dominated.
The more things,
they were better.
The more things changed, the more they stay the same with the Chargers.
They were better on offense. They were better on defense, and then they just had a back-breaking pick six. That's like he is filling the Phillip Rivers slot on that team very nicely.
Yes, and obviously Keenan Allen, like you could tell, the Chargers weren't able to take deep shot. Like it felt like as the game progressed, the Chargers play calling and what they were able to do was all within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Like they hit that big touchdown to Mike Williams in the first half. But after that, I don't, and obviously the throw that Justin Herbert, after not being able to get 1 yard, throws an absolute laser down the center of the field. It's like, oh, holy fuck, this guy, like, I don't know he can barely walk and he's throwing these darts. But we should say in Brandon Staley's defense, there was no, like, he shouldn't have gone for the touchdown there on 4th down. I thought they were going to kick a field goal. He saved himself by doing that at the end when it's like, I was convinced they were going to kick a field goal. They need 10 points. Like you're 4th and 5 on the goal line. You haven't, your first 3 plays on goal line didn't work. Like you're going to kick a field goal and then try to get the onside kick. The other part, PFT, Andy Reid was also kind of conservative. Like there was a couple times where I thought the Chiefs, knowing how maybe this is the Tyreek Hill, like this is where you miss Tyreek Hill because the Chiefs offense through 2 weeks hasn't looked like they've like, oh man, Tyreek Hill, it's so obvious he's not here. But maybe that's where they're going to miss him is those 4th downs when Tyreek Hill would just run a quick out route and no one in the world could guard it. And they would always pick up the 4th and 2. The Chiefs had a couple times where I was like, this is weird. Like usually they just trust Mahomes to get 2 yards, when they're in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that losing the most dynamic wide receiver in the NFL is going to have an effect on your offense. He is a guy that bails him out. And, I mean, the offense is still really, really good. They're going to be in any game as long as they have Patrick Mahomes because he is capable of just reminding everybody at any given time that he is Patrick Mahomes. But not having Tyreek Hill takes away a huge, huge threat. I think defenses are actually, like, the Chargers defense was playing aggressive. And I'm not talking about just the pass rush. I'm talking about, like, jumping routes and stuff. You had J.C. Jackson. You had Asante Samuel Jr. And by the way, every time they say Asante Samuel Jr., I die a little bit inside because I still think Asante Samuel Sr. could be in the NFL. That's still in the back of my head. He's not that far out of the NFL that when they say Asante Samuel Jr. jumping another route, I'm like, oh, God, I'm so washed.
When that happened, when he dropped that Patrick Mahomes interception, Dave yelled out, he's like, that's all this guy does is drop interceptions. I was like, it's his son. He's like, I meant that's all his family does.
Yeah.
That was a 100-yard pick six, too,
it
potentially.
Was. It would have been. And that's what I'm saying. Like, their defense, they can play more aggressive and take chances because they know that they don't have the threat of Tyreek Hill running, 90 yards in 3 seconds and taking the top off a defense like that. Also, shout out to Derwin James for just burying Travis Kelce. That was awesome.
That was so cool.
That was football, man. That put
That
such a
was so
smile on
cool.
my face. Right when that hit happened, we were in the gambling cave watching, and the only thing I could do to react was just make a Tim Allen grunt. I was just like, ooh.
And you thought the ball came out? Yeah, and it was like that was a man's play. It was a great game though. Both those teams are very good teams, and barring how injured Justin Herbert is, I didn't walk away from that game saying either of those teams has like these major flaws. I just thought it was the Chargers. Like the Chargers are a very talented team. They have their offensive line's good, their defense is good. Justin Herbert's a stud. They're missing Keenan Allen, but they also just find ways to charge her. And then the Chiefs on the flip side are one of those teams that just finds ways to win, and they have Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the NFL.
I think that's a fair way to put it. The Chargers are going to be a team that are going to make me look like a fool all the time because I will continue to bet on them. I will continue to tell people the Chargers are for real, and they'll continue to lose me games. And it's going to happen repeatedly, and I'll be okay with it because I'm an idiot, and I'm fine with that. But like they do pass my eye test.
Yeah, and I do think they are for real. It's just, again, the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes and the plays that he's able to make and the drives he's able to keep alive, and then you get one break and that's it. Like you can't. There's no margin for error when you're playing the Chiefs, and that was the difference in the game. We should mention that Amazon Prime. Everyone had to watch it on streaming. Jeff Bezos, I think he ended racism with that photo op at the beginning of the game. Where the most awkward handshake I've ever seen. Well, it looked like he had never touched another human when he took that picture that was going viral.
It was taken in the end racism end zone. So I'd say let's not say that Jeff Bezos ended racism because it's a little disrespectful to the long history of racism in the United States. I think together Jeff Bezos and Roger Goodell teamed up to end racism officially once and for all tonight.
It's rare. Usually when they show a owner's suite or a box, you're like, damn, that would be fucking cool to hang out with, with those, like Jerry Jones. Like that would be fucking cool to clean his glasses for him and just sit and watch a Cowboys game. There's 0.0% of me that would want to be sitting with Jeff Bezos and Roger Goodell during a football game.
I would say no.
That would suck.
If I was invited to that suite, I really would. Unless I had a knife, in which case I would say yes, please sit me directly behind them. But I noticed in the pictures where it was like Jeff Bezos talking to Goodell, and I wanted to make fun of Jeff Bezos, and I did a little bit for being like a robot because he is kind of a robot if you've ever seen him laugh. But
dude, that handshake, like I actually think they're like, Jeff, go take a picture with this guy, and he's like, how do I touch someone with hands? Okay, here, I'm gonna do this. It was like this.
He grabbed their wrist.
He was like holding the guy's wrist as it was like limply in his hands. It was just such a bizarre human he is.
But when he was up in the booth sitting next to Roger Goodell, he was like telling him jokes and stuff, which I'm sure were real funny jokes, real rib ticklers. And he was he was leaning in and like smelling him. I think that Jeff Bezos has become like a very sexual person in his old age ever since he started having affairs and shit and taking HGH. He was leaning in very, very deeply to Roger Goodell and like whispering into Goodell's ear. Like I think there might be something there.
What do you think the jokes probably were like? Wait, you let your employees take piss breaks, like shit like that? Like, haha, we'll never do that.
Well, that's probably what they bonded over is their shared love of piss. Where like Goodell is like, yeah, I make them take piss breaks actually, but then I just collect all of it and I test it, and then I just every time they make a good play in a game, I collect their urine. Like Derwin James, I'm gonna have that man's piss later on tonight. And then
Jeff's like, I don't know. I don't think you should let him piss.
They probably got into a
Roger's like, no, we have to make it. No, it's the opposite. We make them piss. They just bond over that.
Yeah, like a big debate about piss. I'm curious because Billy, I wanted to get your feedback on this. Jeff Bezos, he looked very vascular tonight. He had a lot of veins popping out of his arms. I saw his nipples were protruding, very disgusting. What kind of performance-enhancing drugs do we think that Jeff Bezos is on?
He's definitely on the creme de la creme, HGH and TRT, and probably like some peptides as well to deal with injuries. The vascularity's up there with TRT. He's basically on the best of the best stuff that money can buy.
He's on the stuff that will have no side effects. He'll live forever and just be jacked forever. Yeah. He's on Limitless. Yeah. Yeah, it's the rich people drugs. But the other thing with Amazon, they're geniuses. Obviously, Jeff Bezos owns like our lives. But the fact that you can't change the commercial, like they finally figured it, like you're locked into Amazon. Like you can't change the channel when you're watching Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football, and they could just run. I bet one day he'll just fucking do like 7 hours of commercials, and we'll just sit there like idiots being like, when's the football coming back on?
Yeah, we were talking about that tonight. Like, what are we going to do on a Thursday night where there's a big college football game on? You can't switch back and forth. It's not easy to do. You have to take your remote out and then go back to the other input. Who has time for all that? And it's genius on their part. If you notice that half the commercials they were running were for Amazon Prime itself.
Of course.
It's like we're watching commercials for Amazon while we're watching Amazon. Yeah, he owns us. It's very clear that there's nothing that we'll be able to do. If he want to, he could buy the entire broadcast rights to the NFL. He could buy them tomorrow.
Yeah.
He probably will. It's going to be him versus Apple versus Tim Apple. They're going to get into a bidding war. One of those two companies is going to own it. And then all we'll do is watch football games, and all the commercials will be for the streaming service that we're watching the football games on.
We will just be stuck in front of a TV for the rest of our lives waiting for the football to come on, and the only person in the world who can save us is Kyrie Irving.
Please turn it on, Kyrie.
So there is one.
Kyrie's gonna come smash the TVs, and we're all gonna wake up from our slumber and be like, "Oh my God, we've been watching football for 20 years straight."
If Kyrie was president, he would have like mandatory daily motivation grind set Instagram Reels hours where everybody would just sit down and watch people talk about how they hustle 25 hours a day now.
Yes. What are you going to say, Jake?
There is one thing you could change the channel to, and PFT and I tested that out in the first drive of the third quarter, because you can change from the main broadcast to the Dude Perfect broadcast.
Oh, God.
On Amazon Prime, which we watched.
We watched, and it was so funny. We put it on the Dude Perfect broadcast, and the first thing Jake said was like, how much game prep do you think these guys put into tonight?
Oh, man.
And we're like, dude, Jake, they're drawing pictures of Andy Reid using ketchup and mustard. I don't think that they did any research on how to pronounce Clyde Edwards-Helaire's name.
And they're getting paid so much money, probably, for all of this.
It kind of rocked. They had a dunk tank drive where I think Cody had to get put in the dunk tank if they scored a touchdown. That was kind of
They brought
cool.
in DeMarcus Ware, and he lifted one of the guys and took his seat.
Oh, it was so disrespectful.
Wow.
DeMarcus Ware came on the set, and he accidentally called Kobe Cody, and then he corrected himself, and then picked him up, completely emasculated him, and moved him out of the chair. It was a real hoot.
Damn. I'm sorry I missed it.
It was cool.
It was.
Anything
it was
else?
not
The only
that
other-
cool.
Yeah. The only other thing I
Fact
had
check.
on the game was I this is a very minor thing, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire doing the run where he just had it fully wrapped up was fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
A button.
Yeah, when it's just like, and no one touched him.
Yeah.
It's like it was just very cool. That's like, oh wait, this is supposed to be a 2-yard run, and oh, he's going for 40. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and then he just slid down. He didn't finish the run. Coach is going to have his ass in the film room. Two other things I've got. Shout out Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel got into the game.
Yes.
Awesome handoff.
Handoff.
Perfect
Yes.
handoff for Chase Daniel. That's why he's on your team. That's why he's the perfect backup. I think he's made $202,000 per pass completion over his career, and like $4.5 million per touchdown that he's thrown in his career. Just outstanding run he's been on. And
it was a double revenge game for him because he played. Remember, he played for the Chiefs, and he also played in that game Missouri versus Kansas when this will shock people to hear, but Missouri was number 4 in the country and Kansas was number 2 in the country, and they played at Arrowhead for the Big 12 championship game. So double revenge for him. He did win that game, but it was nice to see him back out there.
Yeah.
It brought back memories of it. It was that 2007
the craziest season in college football history.
of all time. Like the fact that the sentence number 4 Missouri versus number 2 Kansas is a real thing that happened, and it was, and Chase Daniel won the game.
Everything
at Arrowhead.
that you know what I'll do sometimes if I'm bored and it's the football off season, I'll go on YouTube and I'll just watch like a compilation of everything that happened in the 2007 college football season and just sit there for like 20 minutes being like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was awesome too. Holy shit, what a year. Sometimes you don't know that you're experiencing the season of a lifetime until like 20 years later, and then you look back on it, you're like, you know what? I wish that there was a way to know that we were in the good old days as they were happening.
Yes. Chase Daniel in that game, 40 for 49, 361 yards, 3 TDs.
Incredible. Incredible. So somebody sent me some stats about Chase Daniel. I don't have them in front of me right now, but if you look at the type of career that Chase Daniels had as a backup compared to the type of career that Fitzy had as a backup, they could not be more opposite from each other. So Fitzy, as he said, everywhere he goes, the starting quarterback gets injured and Fitzpatrick gets in. Chase Daniel is like the complete opposite, where he's only been in a handful of games. There's actually no better insurance policy to have than Chase Daniel because for whatever reason, the starting quarterbacks are always healthy as horses around him. I don't know what it is. Like, is there anything about being a great backup that would make you healthier as a starter? Or I don't know, because it doesn't make any sense mathematically.
No, he's just a good locker room guy, and everyone wants him around. When he came in, that was the other thing. Dave was like, Chase Daniel, he's good. You said he was good. I was like, yeah, I said he was good when he was on the Bears playing the Lions Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, that's Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel can win you that game. He can't win you a game at Arrowhead when you're down 10 against the Chiefs. So I was happy that Justin Herbert was able to get back in, and let's hope he's not injured for very long because Justin Herbert is now, there are a couple times where he makes throws. I'm like, what is he doing? Because he does the weird thing where he'll miss a guy like 8 yards away terribly, but then the next throw will be a no arc, just bullet into a guy's hands 40 yards down the field.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy fuck, this guy, it's insane watching him make some of these throws. That throw he made after basically almost dying on the field, it looked like he was about to die because he just gave up on 3rd and 1, and he had no one around him, and then throwing it 40-yard dart down the field. It makes no sense. He's out of this world.
There's certain matchups that I think we should be entitled to see more than twice a year. And when you take into account Mahomes and Herbert, and then also the uniforms that go together when these two teams play each other, I need to see this game 4 times a year. They need to schedule. I don't know how it would be possible to do like flex scheduling to just have sweet teams play each other more frequently. But if Jeff Bezos truly wants to take over my brain, if he figures out how to do that, I will submit to him.
It should be easy. It's 17-game season now. There's an extra game. Why not make 1 week the funnest week possible?
Yeah,
just the best possible matchups, the funnest games that we could conjure up in our brains. Maybe we do a fan vote of what the game should be. And I'm saying like both sides, like the Jets and the Jaguars should play in that extra game. You know what I mean? Like we should just come up with the best. The Steelers and Ravens always play in that extra game. Like there's so many good matchups that you're right. We should see more than twice a year. Let's make that 17th game that fun matchup week.
Yep. Texans play against Alabama.
Done.
I fucking love that.
Alabama by 40.
One of our best ideas yet. I do have one gripe about the broadcast. I don't know if you noticed this. They changed the down a little bit too fast. Like the ball hits the ground on an incomplete pass and immediately it goes from 2nd to 3rd down. I need at least a half a second buffer zone so I can look down at it and then I get to see it change so I know that it's already been changed.
Yeah, because if it happens so fast, you get confused on what down it actually is because you look down and you're like, wait, was that 3rd down or 2nd down? And I finally figured it out, but I'm actually kind of convinced. I tweeted it as a joke, but the use of timeouts at the end of the first half, I just think that no one realized how many timeouts they had left because it was hard to figure out where the timeouts were on the scorebook.
Yeah,
it took a minute for me to be like, wait, that's where they are.
Brandon
so I think
Staley
Andy
was
Reid
going
and Brandon Staley. Yeah, they were just watching Amazon Prime, and they're like, I don't think we have timeouts. That's why we're not going to use any right now.
I think that's a good theory. I didn't notice Andy Reid on the broadcast that much tonight.
Yeah, they're trying to box him out. Maybe Jeff Bezos hates fat people.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely hates fat people.
Probably Jeff Bezos probably just showed up so that he could try to get Andy Reid to like eat cricket flour. Try this, Andy.
Yeah.
This is way more healthy for you. You're going to love this.
I'm pretty confident saying Jeff Bezos hates fat people. He hates poor people. He hates people who have like weak bladders.
He hates people that he's married to.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that Jeff Bezos finds disgusting. That's a fact.
I'm happy to be one of them.
Yeah. Should we kick it to ourselves?
We
got some great show coming up. Danny and Lucy DeVito and a weekend preview, which we threw out some stats that you won't hear anywhere else. And we'll finish up with Firefest. So let's kick it back to ourselves in studio. Make sure you buy that fight, Dazn pay-per-view Saturday night. Before we get to the weekend preview, if you're listening to this right now, I'm in Vegas because Canelo Triple G, the trilogy, is happening Saturday night, tomorrow night. It's fight season on Dazn pay-per-view, and they're going to be there. We're going to be there ringside calling it. Bad blood has been building between the fighters after Canelo's win in their last bout, and the long-awaited trilogy will take place at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas Saturday, September 17th. I can see it outside my hotel room right now. It's going to be an awesome scene on Saturday night. You can hear me, Dave, Robbie, Caleb, and Roan on the call if you sign up now and watch it on Dazn, DAZN.com. Download the Dazn app or visit Dazn.com. Stream the fight live only on Dazn. Again, download the Dazn app or visit Dazn.com, DAZN.com, and you can listen to us call the fight Saturday night. Perfect end to a great Saturday of football. Okay, weekend preview. We will officially have a punishment next week. I don't know what happened. It got lost. We
punted on it this week.
Yeah,
that's
it got
fine.
lost.
Life got in the way.
Well, we were getting used to being back in rhythm.
I'm still mourning.
Yeah. Lizzie's in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Until they put her old bitch ass in the ground, I'm not coming up with. I mean,
is she not?
What?
Is she not buried yet?
I don't think so. I think like when a queen dies, they just kind of like let her pickle for a while, just like open air. And then after everybody pretends to cry for her, then they finally put her in the ground. But we did, in fairness to us, we did come up with a punishment for ourselves if we won a Super Bowl last weekend.
Yeah.
So we're going to get shot.
So one punishment a week.
Yeah, everyone on this podcast will get shot except for Jake, who's a P word.
Yeah. Well, and also Hank, because he has a ton of Super Bowls. And let's be honest, his
team stinks.
Yeah,
it's not undefeated.
I absolutely said I would get shot.
Oh, you would? Oh, yeah, by BB gun, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
arrow.
let's be realistic. You're a fan of the Patriots. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
No,
Want to know teams like the Bears and the Commanders? Now we got a chance.
All right, so next week we will have an official punishment. We spared everyone from just doing a repeat of last Friday's show where we brainstormed. So let's do it though. Week 2.
Do you want the standings first?
Yeah, let's get the standings. Good call, Jake.
I also think we should do something for the winner this year.
Okay.
I don't think I'm getting any credit for winning last year.
Okay, how about the winner?
Good job, Hank.
Yeah. So you just want a retroactive
I
congratulations.
want like a trophy. Yeah.
All right, winner gets a cat. And it is retroactive to last year.
Perfect. And then and whoever wins it gets the cat. So you pass the cat on. So that will be perfect. So you get it for the next 6 months. You'll be really sad. Just enough time to fall in love. Okay, Jake. Yeah, standings. Bad week for us.
Very mediocre week. 0-6 on favorites, and we had 6 different favorites.
Okay, that's not mediocre.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Well, overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hank and Billy 2-2. Me and Big Cat 1-3. PFT and Max 0-4.
Okay, so again, like I don't know if you're
6 and
familiar with
18.
the term mediocre.
Yeah.
But that's a very bad.
That's
week.
bad.
I was putting
no
it
one went
nicely.
over 500.
No, okay.
That's terrible.
Disgusting week.
Yes, absolutely.
Can't get
correct.
I think
worse.
worse than any other week we've had last year.
Maybe.
You can't get worse than that because there were picks that were against each other, so someone had to win.
Right.
Like that's about as low as we can be as a combined podcast.
Yeah,
pretty
so
bad.
I'm sorry. That was a terrible way to describe it.
I'm
disgusted with myself. That was a disgusting week of picks.
If it wasn't for Rico Bosco, I would be bankrupt already this season because
Yeah.
I bet all my picks from last week, and he put me on the Saints on the live line when they were losing because he was like, "Oh yeah, it's the Falcons. Let's bet against the Falcons."
And it's Jameis.
And it's Jameis. So yeah, it was bad. It was a really bad week. But you know what? Can't get any worse.
Listen. Every year is the same way where like September, you think you know what you're talking about and you don't. And then you gotta build up the confidence to think you know what you're talking about. And then Bloody Sunday will always come, that one Sunday every single year where like every underdog wins outright. And then you don't know what you're talking about again.
Yeah, I just got to put myself in the mentality I had at the end of last season when I was picking wrong on purpose. And I was I think I went like 11-1 doing
Fade
that.
yourself.
I gotta just switch my mindset on that.
Fade yourself. Okay, so let's do it. Let's talk. Let's do some picks and talk about each game. And we also owe everyone a Mount Rushmore bet, which we got to try to win eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I think PFT and I both failed to have our running backs.
John just went 50 yards for his
It was
carry.
tough. It was tough because PFT sat down on Sunday and was like, Yeah, we got to pick we got to put more thought into it. Or whoever picked DeAndre Swift, and I agreed with him. I was like, yeah, who picked DeAndre Swift? And then me and PFT's running backs didn't hit 50 yards.
And then on the very first carry of the game, DeAndre Swift had a 51-yard run.
We don't know shit.
Listen,
we don't know anything.
Here's the thing: if you're trying to find a podcast that knows what they're talking about, then you should immediately change the channel.
Yes.
That's not why you listen to us.
Yes.
If you actually listen to us to get legitimate gambling tips, then you're dumber than we are.
Yes. Or to talk about God.
Yeah. Quick Jesus minute. Go. What are you thankful for this weekend? Not going to church because I get to watch NFL football.
There we go. Okay, so let's get into the picks. Max, you okay? We got the producers.
Max is a big Catholic, so
He's got
camera
problems.
issues.
Can't
You
even
camera
turn his mic
issues.
on.
You got camera issues.
My camera is being wonky.
Oh, okay. Well,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. We weren't.
Well, you stopped the show.
No,
Well, no,
I mean,
he just did a this. So I was like,
I gave him a thumbs up because it was good, and then it was
Yeah.
working, and then it went out.
we're
Okay.
going to lose our female audience on YouTube if we can't get the camera on Hank.
yeah, we got to get this. By the way, for
the
Monday's
1%
show,
audience,
yeah, for
maybe less.
Oh, I looked at it the other day. It was very funny. I looked at my
Instagram?
and it was
It's
9% female.
That's actually more. I think that's more
Yeah.
than
I'm
mine.
crushing it.
Mine's like 6.
I think mine, last time I checked, was like a year and a half ago. I think mine was lower than that. I think mine was 8.
I'm huge with the chicks. 9%.
1%.
Yes, hell yeah, Billy.
Yeah, Billy, good
100%.
stuff.
Fuck yes, bro.
Dude, totally.
Yes, you're like a fucking secret clubhouse. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Monday. By the way, Monday's podcast. We're gonna attempt to record Monday's show for the second half of Bears Packers. So all the masochists out there, I'm sure you'll have fun with that.
What if you just won though? What if you won and it was recording live and you're just like freaking out, so
Dude.
happy, you're crying tears of joy?
It would be. It would. Rodgers would be dead.
So I was looking at the line, and you do have. I like the position you're in.
Yeah.
Because 10 points is so many points.
So many points.
That is a fuckload of points. At the very least, you'll be able to say, hopefully, because I do think the Bears will cover. If you cover, then you can just be like, well, we're inside the number.
Yeah, good teams win, great teams cover. But 10 points is a lot of points, except for Aaron Rodgers versus the Bears. Then it's not enough points.
But he also
'cause he
hates-
beats us by 1 billion.
He hates his wide receivers.
Yeah, he does.
Hates them.
He does. All right, let's start. Hank, favorite, and then we'll talk about the games. Hank just spilled his coffee.
Disaster. This is early.
It is the earliest we've ever recorded.
Yeah, because I
part of
do
my
have
tape.
to go to Vegas, so
So-
I apologize. We had to record early.
Thank you.
I know it's NFL. It's the NFL's fault though, because they put these games on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
My plan was to fly during the game and just watch the game while I'm in the air, and then land, and then we do the show. And then I realized I can't watch the game in the air because it's fucking NFL Prime.
Yeah, I have a great idea for a new airline, actually. It's just, you put like barely any budget whatsoever into safety and mechanics, and you just load up on the best Wi-Fi possible.
Yep.
And you get like better Wi-Fi than any of the Google Fiber neighborhoods have. You get probably the most powerful Wi-Fi on planet Earth, and then you just put them in a shitty plane, and people will pay $2,000 a seat.
It makes no sense that planes don't have good Wi-Fi.
Yep.
It's like we have not. We Wi-Fi was introduced.
Closer to the satellite.
Right.
Good
And
point.
Wi-Fi was introduced 10 years ago, maybe on planes ish.
Maybe
We have
At
not
least.
gotten
Maybe
better.
longer than that.
We have not gotten better whatsoever.
I'm just saying, like, Boeing, if you're out there, just, forget the software updates and all that, but they don't work anyways.
Right.
Just go out, get a contract with FiOS,
Be heroes.
and
be
then
legends.
just load up with, like, I want Wi-Fi
They should
that
hardwire.
the router should
Yeah.
be so heavy that the plane is actually in danger of crashing at all
They
times.
should
Yes.
hardwire from the satellite.
Yes. They should just have a
like
big
that.
fucking rope that goes down, that goes up to the satellite.
Speaking of makes no sense, this Denver Broncos -10 makes no sense to me, and therefore I'm going to take it.
I had I can't remember the exact stat, but
Like no sense
I remember it reading about it. The Broncos
against the Texans.
Yeah, against the Texans.
Who
The
won.
Broncos
Broncos lost.
in September at home
Tied.
are covering machines.
Yeah, they tied.
They're covering machines because of the altitude and the heat, which we obviously know because we climb Mount Everest. Like, that combo is a killer. I don't hate the pick.
Now, I mean, Houston
I
deals
do,
with heat as well.
But I'm still taking it.
I hate it also.
But
and
not altitude.
yeah, so Hank just kind of did the thing that I think a lot of people out there are doing, which is they assumed that the Texans won in week 1 because they didn't lose.
Right.
And everybody was like, the Texans are definitely going to lose in week 1. Not the case. So now I think everybody's overvaluing the Texans. And I don't know. I hate it too, Hank. But I understand your thought process that you hate it so much that you love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hank's on the board. Yeah, this game, I do think the Broncos, this is just, I mean, they can't be as bad as they were.
They did. Obviously, the goal line should happen. They did dominate the Seahawks, kind of.
Yes, no, that was the thing. Like Geno Smith, we talked about on Wednesday's show. The Seahawks did not really move the ball in the second half, and the Broncos just kept on fumbling and making errors that were inexcusable.
And it's a weird game with Russ going back to Seattle and all the emotion that was involved in it. I don't think you can base anything about the Broncos on what happened week 1 because of that and the goal line fumbles.
Yep.
I don't know though. Again, recurring guest of the show. Appreciate him coming on, but like he's got to be rattled.
Russ?
I don't think.
No, Hackett.
Oh, Hackett, yeah.
Well, I appreciate what Hackett said. He was like,
you can say he's not rattled, but
he went in front of media
bad.
and he goes,
that was bad.
He goes, yeah, I fucked it up. Upon looking back on it, I probably should not have kicked that field goal.
Yeah.
And I like that. He's being honest about it. What do you want him to do? Keep lying about it?
He definitely has a little like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There has to be a little of that.
Like you start overthinking.
Right.
You're like, all right, I can't fuck it up, but then there's so many things you have to think about not fucking up that.
I think he'll be okay long term, but he's
It's
not
the worst way to
there's
start
no
a
way
career.
he's in his 100% confident mindset right now.
Right.
Yeah. Max, your favorite?
Giants -2 against the Panthers. Weird line movement in that game. The Panthers started off as favorites in the Barstool Sports book, and now it's 3-point line change. I don't know. It's a weird game, but I like the Giants -2.
I'm definitely buying what Brian Dable's selling, even though it's been one game.
Yeah, I also am friends with a lot of Giants fans, and as an Eagles fan, I'm a little worried about them, and it's probably me just being dumb, but I think the Giants might be kind of good.
Jones.
You should not be worried about this. Just remind yourself, it's
Daniel
Jones is a quarterback. And he looked serviceable in a couple drives. He was very good. The handoffs to Saquon Barkley were perfect.
Yes.
By Daniel Jones. He put the ball exactly where it needed to be on those handoffs.
The one thing I'm worried about the Panthers, I think the Panthers might just stink, but will Baker have a better game because all the pressure is now off? Like, that was a lot of pressure for him week 1, similar to Russ.
And the Browns defense is really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. PFT.
My favorite, I'm taking the Raiders.
Ooh.
-5.5. It's a lot of points
The Pinky Bowl.
against the Cardinals. I'm taking the Raiders in this one because this weekend we've got Modern Warfare 2's beta coming out. So it's the first weekend where people can play the next Call of Duty dropping and get a test for how the new game is going to be. And it's a limited release. Shout out Imrags who gave me that intel. It's a limited release, so Kyler is going to have to spend a lot of time on the sticks this weekend because they're going to take it away after the weekend's over.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that Kyler is going to play with whatever version of a video game hangover that he plays with.
Yep.
And then obviously, Las Vegas, I think they're a pretty good team offensively at least. And I really like the Raiders in this one. And we're gonna go with the metrics on the Saber metrics when it comes to video game.
I'm rooting for you because this is gonna be whichever team loses this game will be my pinky team, and I'm more scared of the Raiders than I am of the Cardinals.
Okay.
I think the Cardinals are not good, and I think they're.
So you're rooting against me then?
No, I'm rooting for the Raiders.
You want the Raiders to be good enough to make the pinky bet interesting?
No. If the Raiders win, they're not the pinky team.
Oh,
they
that's
have to be
right. That's
0-2.
right. My mistake.
So I'm rooting for you.
The loser of this
Yes.
game is the pinky team.
I have no worry about the Cardinals.
Yes.
I have. If the Raiders lose this game, I will be a little nervous because the Raiders feel like a team that could somehow get hot, like weirdly.
I agree with that. And also Devontae Adams, his whole family is going to be in attendance for the first time, so he's going to probably catch a touchdown.
Yeah, definitely. And Derek Carr's going to target him like 25 times.
Yep.
Okay, my favorite, sorry, PFT, I'm taking the Lions. First time they've been favorites, and I think it was like 24 games or something. It's been a long time. I just feel like I feel like the Lions versus Carson Wentz means weird shit's going to happen, and the Lions are going to find a way to win.
So are you taking them because, and I understand the sentiment if this is the case, they haven't been favorites in so
Correct.
long that it's like I got to take advantage. I might not ever get this opportunity again.
They shouldn't
Let's take
be
the Lions as favorites.
Well, it's also they shouldn't be favorites, so that makes no sense. So I have to bet on them.
yeah. So
it's reverse logic.
So the Lions are 2-point favorites, right?
1.5.
1.5. So I did have the Commanders as my underdog.
Okay.
In this, so we're going head to head on it because I think
Love
the
it.
line is 5 points off. I think it's Commanders by 3.
Ooh.
Every
okay.
team. Again, this is my model that I've had the boys in the back crunching some numbers on the Detroit Lions, and I think that they should be 3-point underdogs to every team in the NFL,
Yes,
regardless
yes.
of team.
Yes. It really is just like they shouldn't be favorites, so now I have to take them.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Billy.
My favorite is the Colts by 4 over the Jaguars.
Ooh. I don't love it.
I think it's just going to be – I feel like the Jaguars are going to be so defeated after their first loss, and they're going to fall back into we're a shitty team, there's no hope. And the Colts are coming off a tie, and they're going to be like, hey.
Jaguars were in that game, though.
They should have won that game.
Yeah, I don't think that's a game that they're, like, defeated from.
Carson Wentz put them in that game.
No, but like all the build-up from the offseason, it's going to be a total letdown. They're like, oh, shit, we
Was there
still suck.
high expectations for the Jaguars?
No, but their players were probably thinking it was going to be a different kind of season. And starting off with a loss is definitely a hit to the program. Guys are going to be thinking, hey, am I getting
I like
traded?
calling an NFL team the program.
Listen,
That's good.
listen, Billy, me saying I don't love it is good because I'm the worst gambler alive.
I like Travis Etienne. I think he's the real deal. But Billy, your guy, Sam Ehlinger, I seen you fucked up that name so many times now I don't know how to say it. Sam Ehlinger, he was inactive last week.
That's bad for the vibes.
Real
He
bad for the
could
vibes.
get active.
He could get active.
Could get active.
They cut Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I think that's bad for the vibes.
Did you
too.
see the picture of him? It was so sad.
It's very sad. He's out on a practice field attempting field goals on his own, which we're kind of loser, whatever.
The
do that.
day he got cut, though, that felt bad. That felt sad.
Yeah. On the
I
other
felt bad for him.
On the other hand, like ball is life.
That's true. Someone will maybe pick him up, but probably not. Okay,
Yeah.
that's your pick, Colts. Jake, finish us off with your favorite.
My favorite is the biggest favorite on the board. It's the Rams minus 10.5 against the Falcons. The Rams can't be as bad as they were in national spotlight opening night.
Maybe they are.
Maybe
10.5 is a lot of points.
10.5 is a lot of points. But like the Falcons cross-country road trip,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
they're
yeah.
not that
Nice.
good.
Now you're talking
You had
some
me.
smart stuff.
When you
That's
brought in
advanced.
time zones, I'm
Yep.
like, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We were
You probably don't even have Wi-Fi on that flight.
Exactly. So they're
Yeah.
gonna get bored and antsy on it.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
That'll
It's true.
factor
I like
into
it.
it.
That's
yeah. Let's
true.
just base all our bets on having to deal with shitty Wi-Fi.
Yeah, their mind is wandering. Yeah, no, okay.
So-
now I'm
Probably
talking
can't
to it.
connect to their playbook on the plane.
I do
Right.
think this is, and we obviously overreact always in September, but there's a couple games where it's like I will make a judgment for a very long time based on, like, if the Rams don't win this game,
You're out on them until like they win 6 in a row, right?
Like if they struggle with the Falcons, I think they have very, very serious
right.
problems.
That's
'Cause
why it's like back against the wall.
Yeah, you're
They might
right.
Smoke them.
they should kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will.
But let's just think that, like the Falcons, they lost, but they also were good enough to build a 16-point lead
True.
in the fourth quarter.
Good point.
Right?
That's
So
fair.
they might not be as bad as that L stands for
Yeah.
in the record book.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a risk.
Moral victory.
Yeah, so this is us just like trying to talk our way into both sides of the equation. Also, Arthur Smith, please hire Will Compton.
Yes.
He's getting very, very desperate.
Yes. Very desperate.
It's sad.
He just needs one game to be active for his 10th year.
We had to pitch Arthur Smith on hiring Will Compton to be a fullback.
Yeah.
That's how bad things are getting right now.
Yeah, just to try to get in a fight with Aaron Donald.
Which would be the best strategy ever, is to have Will Compton go out there, fight against Aaron Donald, get Aaron Donald thrown out of the game, and Will Compton sent to the hospital.
Yep. He's willing to do it for the team. Hank, your dog.
I am going against PFT. I am taking the Cardinals. I will be putting them in the money line parlay. I think they're going to win this game. I
Wow.
think the Call of Duty thing
Just getting stabbed in the back, left and right.
has been obviously very publicized in the past year, and I think it's one of those things that now that it has been publicized, it's not going to be a factor. Like,
You think he's going to quit? He's just going cold turkey. I think actually him quitting Call of Duty cold turkey would be worse.
Yeah, he's jonesing for it.
He's just going to be thinking about it.
I also think with the open beta, it's not really like, it's not Warzone 2. It's not the full game experience. It's more just like a little sample. It's not something that you want to sit and play for hours and hours and hours.
But you got to sample.
Yeah. I mean,
Right, but you can sample it for an hour or two and then be like, all right, I'll come back to this when it actually comes out in a few months.
No, according to Imrags, he said it's not exactly Warzone, but it's Call of Duty multiplayer, like Team Deathmatch. for the new Call of Duty that drops on October 28th. So it's the first time that he's not going to be able to play it after this weekend. He has to get his minutes in.
People play Warzone now.
I just love this. Is like our
point-
gambling picks are flights, Wi-Fi, teams that shouldn't be favored that are favored, and in Call of Duty. This is the good stuff, folks.
And my point is that everyone is like up his ass about Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. Everything he does is a Call of Duty meme. So I think he obviously knows that, and is like, it would be crazy for him to then play Call of Duty for 15 hours and be, in a bad place for the game.
What else is he going to do?
Guy.
I don't think he does anything else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, Max.
I like the Saints plus 2.5 at home against the Bucks.
Me too.
Divisional dog. The Saints. I don't know. I like the Saints. The Bucks didn't look great on Sunday, and it's kind of like that was the worst Sunday night football game of all time that we just watched.
Oh, I've
And I
watched
kinda-
way.
I mean,
the Bears are playing the Packers on Sunday night.
the worst Sunday night of all time that I watched in the past week.
Yeah.
So
Do you remember that? You remember that Commanders-Eagles game where
Yeah,
Peterson
yeah,
put Nate Sudfeld in?
Yeah.
That was a pretty bad one.
That was
too.
pretty bad.
everything is within the past week of all time.
Yeah, no,
But
we
I'm
are
punishing.
yeah.
I'm punishing the Bucks after making us watch
That's
that.
fair.
If there's one thing this podcast is elite at, it's recency bias. Whatever just happened, we are like, that is the most important thing that happened.
Yeah,
ever.
so I hate the Bucks.
Yeah.
I hate the Bucks.
Yeah, in
Love the
true
Saints.
fashion, our best gambler of all time is a goldfish.
Yeah, right.
It has the most recency bias
Yes,
of all time
exactly,
of any animal.
Exactly. All right, I like that pick. PFT.
Okay, so yeah, my favorite or my underdog is the Commanders at the Lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, head to head. So we're head to head both ways now so far. I am going to take. I'm gonna go with Saints as well. I wish we had gotten 3, but I think they're gonna win this game. Dennis Allen knows how to play against Tom Brady. The Cowboys could not have been more inept. And Jameis is a Hall of Fame. It is 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks going up against each other.
It also opened at 3 and is down to 2.5, but all the public, like the public money, is on the Bucks.
Look at that.
Public.
Sharp. Maxie Sharp boy. All right.
Giselle gave a very interesting interview
Yeah.
earlier this week. She said, like, I've been a good supportive wife. Now it's my time,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. She's so mad at Tom Brady for coming back. She's
mad.
so mad. He was supposed to just be babysitting this year while she could go out and do, like, her climate change stuff and all her activism that she's really into.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks in training camp, or 2 weeks in the offseason, Tom's like, you know what? Can you just watch the kids for another year?
And I know it sounds crazy, but I do think she should not be mad at Tom Brady. She should be mad at Adam Schefter. Because I think if Tom Brady was allowed to announce his own retirement, he might have stayed retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schefter screwed everything. Okay, Billy, your underdog.
I like Steelers by 2. They're +2. I think the Patriots, there's blood in the water, and it's a big game for the Steelers. They're getting up for the Steelers. So,
Do we have ticket prices for that game?
yes, we do.
Oh, okay. So Gametime. Go to Gametime right now. Create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. They have great tickets all across football, college, NFL, concerts, everything. Go to the Gametime app. Create a login. Redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. How much would it cost to get in?
$123.
Oh, I mean
It's a very hot ticket.
that's not bad though. Like, come on.
The weather this weekend, and this is the best fall weather. It's still a little bit warm, but you get the crispiness.
Yep.
I think it's the perfect time to go to a football
The
game
cool
before it
morning.
gets too cold.
Yeah, the cool morning weather. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Oh, great tailgate. Get out to tailgate at like 8 o'clock in the morning and just have that. Start with a jacket. Get a little beer in you. Take off the jacket. That's the best.
This might be controversial, but I think that this is the best time of the year to watch football outside.
No,
So set up a
you're
TV
right.
on
Yeah.
a porch, a patio.
Yep, absolutely.
I love those college football setups when people turn their backyards into like TV watching areas. You take the indoor TV outdoors.
I've always thought that the best way to consume football is in December. Just have a tailgate at your house, stand in your driveway, do a full tailgate, and then just go inside and watch on TV.
You can do that, or you can. What I really love is when people put the indoor TV in the window.
Yeah.
So the TV's still inside, but you're watching it outside
Right.
on your porch.
Right.
That's
But
a fucking elite setup
Just
right
be
there.
like, yeah, let's grill all morning.
Yep.
Let's fucking play some games. Let's get really cold, and then we'll just go out inside and watch 12 hours of football.
I remember when I got my first house outside of college, we took the TV and we put it on the patio, and then we just had like a big party out there. First weekend moving in, all the neighbors called the cops on us and the homeowners association, being like, "You need to get these guys out of the neighborhood."
Yeah.
They sent us a letter first weekend because we were so rowdy watching outdoor football. It said, "Please move."
It gets the guys going. It
Yep.
gets the guys going. Okay, that is your underdog. Hank, how are you feeling about this game? Because this is another game where it's like, I think the Patriots are going to win, but if they don't, now it's like, ooh, this could be a panic button for you.
No, the panic button. I mean, there is no panic button.
Oh, okay.
We're chilling.
Okay, you're chilling.
The Steelers are a money dog. They're a money line dog.
Yeah.
If you weren't a Patriots fan, you would love this pick.
You probably would.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
he's
you would.
right. Definitely
Yeah.
right.
Now,
Definitely right.
I do think
I'm not going to take it, but he's right.
You should take
if
it.
the Patriots lose this, you gotta talk about blowing something up. Maybe don't blow it all up. but you
Blowing the
gotta-
football up.
You gotta,
Tanking.
yeah, something needs to be blown up.
Yes, agreed. All right, Jake, finish us off with your underdog.
Yeah, I'm going out west. I'm taking the Seahawks plus 8.5 against the 49ers.
Ooh,
49ers
Geno believer.
looked like trash against your Bears. I know it was raining, but Kittle's still not practicing. Their running back,
Elijah
out.
Mitchell's always hurt,
yeah,
so he was.
but I don't know how much confidence Trey Lance has right now. They're supposed to beat the Bears easily, and I think that's a lot of points for a divisional game.
So the only reason I don't love that one is the same thing I was talking about the Patriots. The teams that made the playoffs last year who are 0-1 playing a 1-0 team. It's a pretty good trend if you follow trends week 2. So there's a couple that are like that that you can find out there. Okay, Hank, your favorite over?
My favorite over is the Patriots Steelers.
Really?
Mac Jones, Mitch Trubisky,
Wow.
2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, 2 top 10 quarterbacks.
Psycho pick.
Only getting 40 points. It's disrespectful to both of them.
I think they are both number 10, right?
They are
Yes.
both number 10.
They're two top 10 quarterbacks.
Maybe top 5.
Number wise
Yeah.
in the NFL. That's very true.
10 out of 10
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an absolute slugfest
with points.
with points.
Yeah, slugfest is not what I. You say a game's gonna be a slugfest. I'm not thinking.
You say
points.
barn burner. It's
You want
gonna-
shootout.
Yeah, you're going to light the scoreboard up.
What's the number on that again?
40. Should be 60.
Alternate.
Take it all the way up to 60.
I probably
baby.
will take an alternate.
All right, your favorite over, Max.
I like the Dolphins Ravens over 44.5.
Ooh.
I think this has a chance to be a fun game.
Yeah.
The Ravens basically had a bye week 1. Jets stink.
I like
That's
that.
true. that was a
so
virtual
there's a
buy.
You got a lot of people writing Joe Flacco off. He ain't right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another one I have circlled. Like if the Dolphins go into Baltimore and win, I'm gonna have to start taking them for real.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with Max's analysis. This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
I think we don't really know what we're going to get week to week with the Dolphins offense yet because we've only seen one game, and we know that week to week the Ravens can score points on anybody.
And Tyreek Hill equals points. So that's he's now on the Dolphins.
So if I'm coaching the Ravens this weekend, I get Patrick Ricard involved as early as possible. I just have him run the fuck over somebody. I have him I drop a play,
Set the tone.
and the entire tone of the play is just you go flatten somebody and then step on their face.
Yep.
And we see at that point if the Dolphins are a candy-ass soft team.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
He's literally the Kool-Aid man.
He is.
Yeah.
I did the math with his 40 time and his weight and size. He could run through a brick wall.
Wow.
He is literally the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
What are the Kool-Aid man's dimensions?
Different than Patrick Ricard.
Okay.
But he can still generate enough force to go through a brick wall.
Yeah,
Love it.
He might be
Full
my
speed.
favorite player in the NFL. Also, I think he's in AWL, so shout
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Shout out
Rick Man.
Patrick.
The Kool-Aid man, 6 feet tall, 6,000 pounds.
Oh wow.
Which is BMI.
Well, that's like water weight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
he
it's
could go.
different.
He could go on a diet.
No,
and
it's
he would.
6,000 pounds when dry, 11,000 pounds when
Oh.
filled with Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Wait, so he's 6,000 pounds dry?
That's some
It's a
thick
6,000
glass.
pound glass.
Yeah.
They need to redesign that glass.
He would
bulletproof?
Actually, he would shatter if you try to go through.
Well,
go
he might
through a
be
brick wall.
bulletproof with that much weight.
Is it bulletproof? Okay.
yeah, you could make a sick bong out of the
His
Kool-Aid
glass
guy.
is 3.6 inches thick. so
Wow, that's
probably
really
bulletproof.
thick. Holy fuck. I love
Where
that
are
we
we?
have dimensions of the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
Over.
Over. I have Jets Browns 40. So over 40 points. Too bad offensive teams. 40 is a low number though. That's
Yeah.
my entire analysis.
It's gonna be a slugfest.
It's going to be a shootout. This one's going to be a shootout. It's going to be 41 points.
I mean, if Flacco throws like 60 times.
Yeah, so I mean, Flacco is not going to throw that many, and as
I don't know.
there's no way that he can possibly throw that many times. He's going to die if he throws
Think
that
about
many
how
times.
sore he was.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
so sore.
Yeah, so over 40 points, I feel like that's an easy dub.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Panthers Giants over 43.5. I don't really have any reasoning other than I don't think either team is good, but yeah, there is no reasoning behind this pick.
That's fine.
Yeah, that I'm being brutally honest with the listeners. I just saw it and was like, yeah, that seems right.
But couldn't you expect, like, looking at what's the total on this one?
43.5.
43.5. Looking at this game, you wouldn't be shocked if you saw the final scoreboard and it was 27-20.
Yeah.
Right?
27-24, maybe.
Yeah. That doesn't feel like, whoa, that's crazy, Big Cat.
Yeah, 24-21.
Yeah.
That got it.
It can happen.
Yeah, it definitely can happen. Billy.
I like Bucks Saints 44. It's at the Dome, and I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, there actually is some stats behind because the Saints played Tom Brady very well, but the Tom Brady has decent offensive performances in New Orleans, not in Tampa Bay when he's playing the Saints. Which is a little weird, but
I could see him.
Is that the playoff game, though, included?
the playoff game included, but the other what has he been? 3 regular season games.
Okay.
He's been there for 3. Has he been in the Bucks for 3? No.
Yeah,
this will be his third.
This is his third season.
Yeah.
But remember, Dome.
Dome.
Dome over.
Dome over.
Dome over.
Dover.
Okay.
Dover. The Dover. Jake.
I'm going to go with Commanders Lions over 48.5.
I like
It's
that.
a big number. That they're not exactly the sexiest teams, but you look at week
What do you
1.
mean?
I mean, when you look at Commanders Lions, it's not like the Bills,
I
the
get
Chiefs,
turned
the
on.
Rams.
Jared
Yes.
Goff.
I think it's a sexy.
Sex
I think
icon.
it's. I like that pick because
In week 1,
It's
yes.
it's the chaos game.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the chaos.
And
game.
Jake, I get it. The Commanders will never be a sexy team, no matter how good they are.
As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now. But I'll tell you what, they do have sexy wide receivers.
Absolutely.
The-
but
the
look at
Commanders-
week
That's
1.
points.
I would actually say the Commanders wide receivers. Here's a bold take that I actually believe in. I think about the Commanders. I can't tell if it's just me being a homer. I think they have a top 3 receiving core in the NFL. I think it's that fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at week 1, Commanders 28, Lions put up 35. It's a lot of points.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
48.5.
I
Seven,
like it.
7 touchdowns.
I'd be happy with it. 7 touchdowns. Sign me up.
Yeah.
That's football, baby.
That's easy. That's light work. Okay, let's finish up with the under, and then we'll do fantasy fuck boys. Also, we need our Mount Rushmore. So pick a player, everyone.
I
Hank.
know who mine is. If
Okay.
You want me to say? Or
All right, go ahead, say it.
Saquon.
Fuck,
Again.
that was who I was
Of
going
course,
to take.
yeah.
You should
I think
take
I-
McCaffrey.
I looked at it and I was like, everyone's going to take Saquon this
Yeah,
week.
fuck.
That was a great pick.
Yeah, I took him last week.
He
too,
led
so
the league,
I
right?
I have rights.
Lead leaguer. You have Prima Nocta on Saquon.
Yes.
Okay. You're under.
My under. I'm going against Jake. Commanders Lions. The Lions are a sexy team. Jared Goff, sexy man. I think he's going to put up 40, but it's not going to be enough. Under 48.5.
Okay.
40-7 Lions.
Yep.
Max, yours.
Raiders Cardinals under.
Oh, okay.
51.5.
That's not fun. That's not fun.
That's bold.
But what if these teams stink?
Max
Yeah.
is trying to
Yeah.
act sharp.
Yeah, you are trying to be sharp. You're trying to be too
He's
smart
got
for this show.
stats and line movements.
No.
That is.
We've been talking the whole thing of what if these teams stink?
Yeah, but
then if they
that's-
stink, that's an under.
But I'm also thinking about where I'm
Devontae
gonna,
Adams' family is going to be there.
yeah, and Sunday at 4:00, you're going to be looking at the next slate of games. You're going to be like, oh yeah, let's go over.
Yeah.
Like that's just a note. Don't think, just shoot. kinda
Also,
game.
the field that they have in Las Vegas is so similar to the field they have in Arizona.
Yeah.
It looks the exact same to me. It's basically a home game for the Arizona
I
Cardinals.
should have figured that in.
Yeah.
Factored that in.
The
Yeah.
fact that shade of green on the
Didn't
grass is
factor in.
identical.
Big mistake. Okay, PFT, you're under.
My under, I'm doing Saints Bucks.
Okay,
So 44. I think Saints 40 bucks 0.
nice. Saints 40, Bucks 0.
And I stand by my take that Sean Payton is like a shadow coach of this team because he didn't expect to not be coaching this year.
Yep.
I think you saw the Taysom Hill touchdown run that had Sean Payton's fingerprints all over it.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna take the Bears Packers under 41.5 because I'm just doing this because I think the only
42 now.
42. Great, love it even more. The only chance the Bears have is if it's very, very low scoring. So I'm just rooting for a low scoring game, and it's gonna be a painful game anyway for me. So why not also make it extra painful and have the under?
Can I give you keys to victory for the Bears?
Sure.
Just run the ball and don't let Aaron Rodgers have the ball.
I like that.
That's
or
all I have.
is his wide receivers are so bad, maybe you should let him have the ball.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he has to get on the same frequency
Yeah.
as his wide receivers. So
Means they have to do
acid
drugs.
trip.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback for not inviting any teammates on that trip.
Yes, I am dreading this game. There's like a small part of me like, what if maybe the Bears can do it? But the reality is starting to set in that this is going to be a torture chamber. So might as well make it an extra torture chamber. Take the under. Billy.
Detroit, Washington, 48.5.
Okay. Under. So we got two
Under.
unders on that. And then Jake, finish us off.
I'm going to take Colts Jags under 45.5. I'm going to say the Jags are in a Gami game every week.
Yeah.
They seem like
Gami vibes.
They got
Yeah.
Gami vibes.
like missed extra points.
Yeah.
But safeties. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is like a 26-11 game. I don't even know if that's Gami, but
I don't hate
yeah.
that. I don't hate that. I feel like the AFC South is the most Gamiable
It's
division.
not, it's not a Gami.
It's
So I'll
got
go-
Gami written all over it.
I'll go 25-11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gami.
Okay.
The only game we didn't talk about was Bengals Cowboys. Cooper Rush.
That's right. Yeah. So we're doing Cooper Rush, huh? We're just
Yeah,
gonna
I-
stick with Cooper Rush.
I think so. I think they're just doing the Cooper Rush thing.
I saw a lot of Cooper Rush in the preseason because I was waiting to watch Ben DiNucci get in the games.
Uh-huh.
Cooper Rush, not good.
Yeah.
Not good. Sorry, Cooper. I'm sure that you probably you have AWL vibes on you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're a good guy.
He had that one good game against the Vikings.
Not good.
Not good. Yeah, I think this is another game where like the Bengals have to blow them out for me to be like, yep, Bengals are back.
Also, if you're Mike McCarthy, it takes everything in your body not to screw up a perfect game plan with your starting quarterback.
Yes.
With a good quarterback like Dak.
Yes.
Once Cooper Rush gets in the game, he magnifies all the boneheaded bird brain mistakes that Mike McCarthy will make.
Yes. All right, so we have Saquon. PFT, what's your pick?
I'm going to take Chubb.
Okay.
I'm going Nick Chubb on this one. Even though he did say like he likes the nickname Chunt this week for him and Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
I still think we're going to get a healthy dose, more than just a half Chubb. We're going to get almost a full Chubb this weekend.
Okay. Is DeAndre Swift hurt? I don't know. I was gonna go DeAndre Swift, but now I'm thinking, did I hear something that he might be
He missed
hurt?
Wednesday's practice. Ankle.
Fuck. All right, let's just go with Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor. No, yeah, I think you can't do Monday night. They're playing Monday night. So pick something that's happening on Sunday. Maybe just go. Oh,
He said that it's nothing to worry about, DeAndre Swift, his ankle injury.
go McCaffrey. Just go McCaffrey.
Go McCaffrey.
Because then we have it all in
Did he
one
get
game.
hurt?
Oh, he
Probably.
Might have, well, yeah,
Yeah.
he's always hurt.
Statistically, yes.
We were thinking of Lenny, but he was limited in practice yesterday.
Everyone's hurt. Fuck.
So
They really tricked us with this. Mount
it's
Rushmore.
harder. It's harder than-
It's way harder.
Cam Akers.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ooh, James Robinson was good. But
Okay,
that's my
what's
under game.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't want to
Go with McCaffrey. We'll have Saquon and McCaffrey.
Are we sure we? I want
That's so
them.
risky.
I want.
Okay, you guys
don't,
go.
You
You
don't
guys
want to
go.
make two
All right,
picks.
you're right,
Big
you're
Ken.
You guys got to make a
You're
pick.
right, you're right,
though.
you're right,
You
you're
guys
right,
got to
you're
make a pick.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
You
You're
guys
right.
should have done this.
Can I throw out another name? Javonte Williams, maybe?
He splits too much. I feel
Okay.
like.
Fuck.
Jake,
I
make a
loved him.
pick.
Just make a pick.
I
Lenny.
loved Williams.
Lenny.
Leonard Fournette. Okay,
Okay.
pick has been made.
So Saquon, Leonard Fournette, Jonathan Taylor,
Barstool Lenny.
and what was yours, PFT?
I had Chubb.
Chubb. They all have to hit 50 yards rushing, and they will be in the Barstool Sportsbook exclusives. So Mount Rushmore bet. We're 0-1, but with the odds that we're working with, we just got to hit like 4 or 5 times this year, and we'll be plus money. Okay, good preview. I think everyone learned a lot during that. Should we do Fantasy Fuckboys, and we'll get to the DeVitos?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were doing Fantasy Lad Boys, but I'll just read it.
I can
And fuck
switch on a
boys.
fly.
No, that's. I mean, I can. It's just that's fine.
Oi,
Oi.
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 Cheerio.
I wanna stand with you on a mountain. I wanna save with you in the sea. I wanna stay like this forever until the skies fall down on me.
So we doing Lad Boys?
Yeah, we're doing Lad Boy.
Oi, 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 oi.
I wish. No, that's.
Oasis.
I would walk.
Shut the fuck up, Billy. My stardom. Oh no, my name's Benedict Biscuitescus. My stardom is Fat Fingers.
Oh, sausages.
Our new
Little
king has a
saucies.
bunch of fucking saucies on his hands, and they're just
Saucy
beautiful.
saucies.
I'm gonna eat a lot of fucking beans this weekend to get my fingers all fattened up, because that's the new.
Nice. Sleep, you dead bitch.
He fucking hung him up. He's dead. Put him 6 feet underground. He's over.
The flow of his throat.
Darren Rebel,
Poet Laureate of the United States of America.
Prince Andrew. No sweat.
No sweat.
Stroke.
Let's play a game. King Roger or Prince Andrew?
Stroke. Okay. What's your name?
What's up? I prepared for fancy fuckboys, so this is
This is Max Homer.
Oi.
How's it going? It's me, Max. I'm a real
Pervert.
piece of shit. I'm a real piece of shit pervert with some real fucked up dogs. It's me, Max Homer. I'm starring AJ Brown. R.I.P. Bentley. His dog, his very good boy, passed away this week. We ride in memory for Bentley. Ride in memory for Bentley.
Rip.
I'm
That's a
sitting.
bummer.
I'm sitting the U.S. national team
Almost
jerseys
bad
as
the
well.
Queen. What the fuck?
Great choice. Great choice over there.
I have a sitting for you.
Benedict.
Yeah.
Seattle.
I'm sitting in Seattle. Those little fish stole a piece of shit. That's why you lost the Sonics. That's what Hank said, not me.
Okay, what's up? What's up, lad?
He's
Lads?
got a sleeper now.
No, that was a sleeper.
Oh.
Towel. It's James Hinkenbottom by Stalin. Is Giselle.
Hey.
It's her time now. We talked about it earlier, but she's going to fucking do it.
She's a proper fit bird.
She is going to fucking. He said, doesn't seem like a good chap.
Robert Sarver.
Robert Sarver.
What about China, bruv?
What did he say?
Well, he's a Phoenix Suns owner. He said some.
Oh, right.
He's good friends with Papa John.
What word did he use?
He used some bad words, and listen, I'm not a fan of his, but I'm sure that he would fit in swimmingly with.
The posh boy. I go to the side. I get my cider. I don't drink beer like you lager boys.
What do you call a cigarette?
I call it. It's a bundle of sticks, my lord. On my situm is the French. The French, they're frogs.
Oh,
Tell them to sit down. And my.
but don't you love frogs?
You love to fuck
You
frogs.
tell them to sit down so you can put your penis in their mouth.
That's
You
the Welsh.
fornicate with frogs.
No, that's the Welsh with sheep. Okay,
And you with frogs.
No, that's the Welsh with sheep.
And you with frogs.
Only on the weekends. And my sleeper is gin.
Ooh.
It makes you go to sleep. It's quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Quite rather. Some daisies and some tulips.
If you want to make your mouth smell like pine cones.
Yes, pine cones.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Delicious.
Hedgehogs.
All right. that
Tea and
was
crumpets.
Fantasy lad boys combined
Billy
with
does
fantasy fuck boys.
Have great accents.
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah.
did a great job.
That's
there.
the crazy thing. Like Billy, when he talks in a Russian accent, when he talks in Australian or English accent, he stops thinking so much, so he's actually smarter
Yes,
when he talks.
yes.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. We need to. Billy needs to run tempo on his brain.
I was better in the hurry up.
He needs to run a 2-minute offense at all times.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like after a quarterback gets hit a few times, they feel more comfortable, they settle in.
Yeah.
That's
That's
exactly
actually facts.
Yeah. That's
Big
Billy.
facts.
Okay, let's get to our great interview with Danny Devito and Lucy Devito in studio. PFT, you got a quick word from Dazn, right?
Yes, it's a solid interview. Before we get to it, it's brought to you by Dazn because it's fight season on Dazn pay-per-view. Canelo Alvarez puts his WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, and the Ring super middleweight titles on the line when he takes on Triple G. I was telling Big Cat before we started taping today, I'm not really a boxing fan. I want to buy this fight. These two fighters are awesome. They match up so well together. It's going to be great. Bad blood has been building between the fighters after Canelo's win in their last bout, and the long-awaited trilogy fight will take place at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on Saturday, September 17th. Sign up now to watch Canelo vs. Triple G. Buy the fight exclusively on DAZN.com. DAZN, DAZN.com. Stream the fight live only on DAZN. Download the DAZN app or visit DAZN.com. That's DAZN.com. And now here are the Devitos.
Okay, we now welcome on two very special guests. It is Danny and Lucy Devito. They have a show called Little Demon on FXX on Thursday nights. You can watch it the next day on Hulu as well. First of all, thank you for coming and sitting on our gross couch.
So cool to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
The couch definitely has, a personality of its own.
Yeah,
It's
you guys
well-loved.
You guys
It kind of grows on you.
Yeah.
Is it named? Do you have a name for it?
Blake.
Yeah.
Blake the
Blake
couch.
the couch.
Blake the couch.
Hey, Blake.
You see that? It's held up by
Blakey.
paint cans.
Yeah,
and
it's good.
yeah.
It's good.
This is probably the first time I've been truly embarrassed to have two guests that, come in and they're like, wait, we're sitting there? All right. Yeah. That's where
you
you're
feel like
sitting.
you're going to sink into
No, but
something
now I
real
feel
big.
bad for Blake.
We
He's-
like Blake.
He's been through
And
a
I'll bet
lot.
he's good sleeping, too.
Yeah.
I bet you can fall asleep
Oh,
on
yeah.
his bed.
I've fallen asleep on Blake
Many,
before.
many
Yeah.
times.
Jake has
Yes.
cuddled on Blake before.
Right.
Yeah.
That couch has seen some shit.
If
Cried,
this couch could
cried
talk,
tears
baby.
of sorrow into
Yes.
the pillows of Blake.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate it. We're big fans. Little Demon, I'll start off with the question that I was thinking right off the bat. Obviously, Danny, you play the dad. Lucy, you're his daughter, and you're Little Demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like fucked up for you, right? Like he's basically like you're Satan's daughter.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's about a 13-year-old girl who is been moved from town to town. She has lived her whole life with her mom, single mom, Aubrey Plaza. And she starts her first day of school and has some, crazy event happen to her. And she finds out that she's the Antichrist and that her dad, who she thought was dead, was actually not. He's just not alive.
God,
He's Satan.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's he's Satan. And so now he knows of her whereabouts and Chrissy meets Satan, and the story unfolds.
I've been looking for her for a long time. I know I had a kid. You know what I'm saying? Aubrey Plaza plays her mother. She's been hiding the kid from me. Why? So, I'm looking all over the place, and they're going from town to town to town. This is all before the show really starts.
Right.
The first show is like when she has her period, and she also finds these powers that she has as a young teenager.
But that's real. That's a normal thing for women.
That's a normal
right?
thing for
Exactly.
women.
But so when did
Right.
she find out that she's
It's
When-
demon?
stronger
when-
than anything.
Yeah.
It's like they can rip you apart.
Yeah.
And so this signals, well, also they wind up in Delaware, which is where they went, where it happens.
That would
And
be a perfect
it's
place
perfect
for
place
Satan.
to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
It is hell.
It is hell. Yeah.
And Chrissy, she opens up, besides having her, all these powers that she acquires, she opens up a big, big hole in the sky up above Delaware, which signals, there's nowhere to hide from Satan. See, and I come. That's when I.
She also realizes she can murder people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. Is it weird because Aubrey Plaza? I don't know how old she's, but I think she's probably is she younger than you?
Yeah, no, we're like the same age.
Same age?
Yeah.
So like that. How does
Yeah.
that work out when you're playing somebody's daughter who's your peer?
Well, it's an animated show.
Right.
So we sort of just get into the characters, and we have the relationship works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very comforted by her, and she takes care of me.
Do you have, Lucy, like flashbacks when you're doing dialogue of like fights that you got into with your father when you were a kid and stuff? Like, is there
Yeah.
moments like, oh,
Yeah,
I
like-
can draw on these emotions because I lived them?
Yeah, I was constantly like, Dad, you're the fucking devil, and I hate what you made me.
Yes.
Is it when you're doing voice acting? How much of it is you in a booth doing it, and how much is it a team environment where you're playing off the lines that other people are delivering as opposed to just hearing them in headphones?
Yeah, well, we you mostly do it just on your own, but we sort of set it up so we did it all during the pandemic. So we had people on Zoom, and we sort of organized the right time so that we could we could actually have scenes together because we got a lot of great stuff from like the spontaneity of you know some improv. It's mostly scripted, but like there is some improv in it.
Some things happen.
You get to
never know.
talk over each
Somebody's
other
gonna
and
say something on the top of you. And
work on the relationship that way.
That way.
Yeah. So, Danny, when Lucy decided to be an actress, were you like, oh no, why are you getting into family business?
On the au contraire.
Okay.
No, man. See, from the whole idea. Well, the whole idea is from the very beginning when she was like in grade school. I always saw her, performing, doing stuff. She always liked it. She was into it. Well, we're saturated with it. Movies all the time. Television's always on. Everybody's carrying on. There's an Italian Jewish family, and everybody's grabbing for this and doing that and trying to take focus and, living with me, for crying out loud. You really got to be the Antichrist.
And my mom, is also an actress,
right.
Rhea Perlman. So it's just like kind of like we were a very performative family.
So and I saw her in high school do some really cool things. Not only when she was in grade school, when she played, the first thing I ever saw her do was she played in a garden play or something. She played an ant. Right, Crawley,
an ant.
Yeah, and then in high school,
like the bug.
Yeah, the bug. Yeah. And like in high school, I saw her do a Neil LaBute play, which was really strong, very good, disturbing, but good. But I like the dark side, So all that good stuff, and I realized that she was gonna do it, and the best thing to do with your kids is to go along with that stuff, those impulses.
Right.
You don't want to fight that.
Because, I was going to say, if either of my children become podcasters, I'll kill them. So that's not happening.
But that's not true. See? I think you're saying that now. But if your son or your daughter wanted to do what you're doing, have some fun like this with that beautiful desk and you two guys like hanging out.
This beautiful desk. Yeah. Let's see. We've got a syringe. We have a medical.
I view podcasting as like the coal mine. Like I went to podcasting so you didn't have to, so you could have a better life than me.
How old are your kids?
3 and 1. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got some time to.
We got some
see
time.
what they like.
There won't be podcasting in the future. It'll be whatever the next iteration.
Whatever the hell it is.
Yes.
Right.
But somebody's always going to want to listen to somebody else talking to kill the time. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when you were growing up, would you watch his movies? Would he make you watch his movies, or are there certain ones that you're like, I don't want to watch Rainmaker again, Dad?
No,
but
I loved all of his movies. Most.
No. Which ones didn't you love?
No. I mean, I feel like I grew up, with like Matilda and Rainmaker is great. What he's done so many great movies. Me and my sister begged him to show us Pulp Fiction because he produced Pulp Fiction, but we were like way too young to watch it.
Yeah.
And but we manipulated him enough, and we got him to show it to us, and no, but he never forced us to watch anything. He's
only like sit there and watch it.
It was mostly like watch this Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. I try to introduce right away, in the early days, black and white movies.
Yeah.
Because, they're only seeing like all the stuff that's available at that time when they were kids. But I wanted them to see not only, movies that I grew up with Bogey and Peter Lorre and like all these great, Billy Wilder movies and stuff. But I also tried to introduce them reading subtitles. That was big, man.
Yeah.
When they got to the point where I could sit them down and look at, a French movie or an Italian movie or something where you had to read the subtitles.
So what age did he make you watch, or were you allowed to watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Because I remember my dad made me watch that when I was like 10. And it's one of my favorite movies ever. But was that an early one, or was that one that was like, hey, let's wait for this one because everyone's crazy in it?
I don't know. I don't remember the exact time I watched it, but I mean, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. And I actually recently rewatched it not too long ago, and it just holds up. So it's an amazing movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you were making Pulp Fiction, I don't know how involved in the day-to-day process of that film you were. Did you know that it was going to be great, or was it one of those things where you were holding your breath because there's so much crazy stuff happening?
That second part. What it was in the very beginning, I read a script by Quentin called Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
It hadn't been made yet, but it was already being made. So I read this script and I said, this is the shit, man. I want to be involved with this guy. So I said, I'd like to meet Quentin. And because I thought the script was great, this Reservoir Dogs, that wasn't available. So I said to him, I had a little meeting with him. I said, look, he was telling me all of his likes and things that he was going to do. And I said, look, I don't care what it is, whatever your next movie is, I'd love to be involved. Because I had this energy that he, you know Quentin, so that's the way he is. So I made a deal with him, sight unseen, to do his next picture. And I waited a year for him while he was promoting Reservoir Dogs, going all over the world, and finally one day this script was delivered, 155 pages. I remember when I got it, it said Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino, final draft. Wow. And I said, holy shit, I can't wait. And I sat down and read that baby, and I just was blown away by it. So I was really lucky first of all, I had the instinct to want to be in business with him, but I was really lucky that he was so good.
Yeah. I would also think that a script like that, it could be a little overwhelming sometimes because there's so much going on, and that it could be good, but there's a lot that needs to happen to tie it all together.
Absolutely.
In terms of like the visual storytelling of it as well.
Exactly.
But the fact that you had already tied yourself in, you're like, I'm already in, so I believe in this guy.
But also the thing about it is that I know Quentin, so I know that 155 pages, you give that to a studio, and you give that to somebody, and they time the script. That's what they do. They look at it, and they say, oh, shit, like 155 pages, this is a lot. I said, listen, this is the way you got to talk, because this is the way the guy talks. So when you read the script, you got to read it like this. This fucking thing, maybe 155 pages, but it ain't going to be 155 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a labor of love for him and everybody who was involved. And I didn't get the day-to-day. I was doing all kinds of shit with Jersey Films and doing a lot of stuff. So I got to visit. I got to meet everybody. I got to hang out a little bit with them. And so I didn't get the day-to-day stuff, like being on set when, everybody was doing when Sam Jackson and they were all doing their shit. But I do remember one story that I can tell you that I brought the script to a studio that I had to deal with, who paid for the script, right, for him. I had to deal with the studio. And I brought it to them. They wouldn't do it. It was TriStar. They wouldn't do it.
Huh.
They said it's too violent. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? You've got Stallone hanging off a mountain shooting people with a Uzi right now. This is a comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All right?
Uh-huh.
So then I brought it to Weinstein, right? So Weinstein had already was working on Reservoir Dogs. He immediately said yes. Okay. Only catch was he wanted Daniel Day-Lewis to play the part of, and he wanted.
He did? I didn't know
wow.
that.
Harvey wanted because Daniel Day-Lewis was a great actor. He won an Academy Award, I think, for My Left Foot, whatever it was called at the time. This is back then in the day. And I said, wait a minute, this is not going to work, man, because I already said to Quentin, I'm going to make the movie you want to make, right? And Quentin wants John Travolta. Harvey he almost fucking lit the room up. He went on fire. He was going crazy. I said, no, man, this is the way it's got to be. You got Travolta or you don't have a movie. And we stuck to our guns, and John got what he wanted. And, Quentin got what he wanted, and we got John Travolta in the part.
Yeah,
Wow.
Travolta he wasn't an A-lister at the time.
No, at the
right?
time.
It was his comeback.
Yeah, it was his comeback. He's great. God, he was great in the movie, and he's a great guy, and he's a good actor.
I can't imagine that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis.
No,
No,
it's
it
like
would have
really
been a different
can't.
movie.
It's totally.
Also, how would we have done that method-wise? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
He would have had to really do some fucked up shit. Yeah.
He would be in jail right now.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Is it weird now, talking about Pulp Fiction, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Twins, all these movies that are classics, and now people probably just yell Rumham at you when you're walking down the street.
Absolutely. Rumham.
Have you had a moment where you're like,
yeah.
well, this is what I'm at. This is what I am now.
Yeah, I become. Yeah, well, it's like kind of cool though. You know what I mean? Like with the whole thing where you go, people transfer. Like when I did Taxi, the next day it was like anywhere you went it was Louis. Hey Louis, and they'd play the song when I come in, and the whole thing Louis, that whole thing. And then now with It's Always Sunny, Frank has become like it's a strong, and the ham has
It's
been
a classic.
big.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people have tattoos of the ham.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's like really great.
Yeah.
Is that weird for you, Lucy? Like your dad, obviously all growing up, he's an actor, and then he gets this part that becomes like we're the same age, and like
Yeah.
it's our age demo just loves this show and now loves your dad in
I
a
know.
totally different way.
No, I mean it's awesome. I think it's really cool, that he's able to like, I don't know. I have friends who've seen Sunny is one of those shows that like I see it, but I don't know the episodes back and forwards like some people do, and I love it that people know my dad in that way. I
Yeah.
think it's really funny and awesome, and I think it's I don't know. I think it's cool.
It's a totally
Yeah.
like different second act of your entire career, and it's Always
Yeah.
Sunny is. I think if you poll everyone in this office, it's a top 5 show for everyone here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
we've done enough of them.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna do more though. We're going
Yeah?
back. Yeah, we're gonna go in. The guys are great to work with. And they actually have a podcast, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That they've been doing. I haven't been on it yet, but the whole idea is that we're gonna go back. I think in January for season. Could it be 16? Yeah, something like that, man. But we have a good time doing it, and you just say like, look, and I do almost anything. Basically, it's written that we talk about it and everything. Like, am I going to come out of a couch naked, or am I going to fall out a window, lose my mind? Am I going to be slimed? And what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And I'm game. I did whitey tighties naked in that, or half naked in a couple shows where I was laying on the ground.
Oh yeah, was that
I was slimed.
Nightworms?
I was washing.
Was
yeah,
that the game
something
you would
like
play?
that. I don't. You mean with Charlie?
Yeah, you just crawl around on your stomach in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we do that. I mean, I shit in the bed once.
poop the bed.
Yeah, poop the bed. It's
the
like
bed.
they're a little nuts, those guys.
I think the great part about that show is that you can keep getting away with a lot of stuff. All the characters can do basically whatever they want, because the unspoken joke that the audience is in on is that all these characters are detestable.
Yeah.
They're
and they're bad,
assholes.
and they're
Yeah.
all assholes.
Yeah.
They're all assholes.
So you can say things on that show that you wouldn't be able to say if you were not operating under that premise.
Right.
So I guess my question would be like, has there ever been a moment where they tried to write something that was so out there that you're like,
absolutely.
I don't think we can make this funny.
Well, no, they did one thing. We try everything. We try all kinds of stuff. But they did one thing. I remember it was early morning. I was going to go to work. I was about to go to a read-through of the first script for that season. I can't remember which season. And somebody handed me a script at the house and said, look, the guys have changed their mind. They're going to do this script instead of the one you were going to read. And I said, oh, God, okay. They said, but they want you to read it right away. So, and they're all in the office, and they want to hear what you have to say, because they're going to change up, and this is going to be the first show of the season. Mm-hmm. I said, cool. So I start reading it, and it's a show, normal show. They're in the bar. They're doing some prank. They're doing something. They're trying to get over on somebody, and they need a hooker. So they send me out to get a hooker. So I go in a car. I go to get a hooker. I get arrested immediately. Page 4, I get arrested, right? I'm thrown in jail. I'm in a shower getting banged by some guy. Okay, wait a while. So, and I read, and then they go back to the bar, and they're doing some more antics and everything. They wrote an entire script where I get banged like 6 times by white supremacists, by cops, by everybody, until the very last moment. Frank is like, description of me laying on a cot. I'm depleted. I've been banged by everybody, and the cop says somebody made your bail, and I go, oh, thank God, I get up, and it says he's walking, he can't walk, and finally the cop, this big guy, says he's got a billy club in his hand. He says, well, Frank, you're not gonna leave before you say goodbye. And he throws me down on the ground, and all the cops come, and in the very last moment of the script, the cop leans into me and says, April Fool, motherfucker. And I knew immediately that it was April 1st. And those sons of bitches wrote a whole script just to bust my balls.
That's amazing. Holy shit.
I called them up. They were all sitting around with the
my
speakerphone laughing their asses off. I was like an inch away from calling my lawyer.
At the same time, like, it's a fucked up script, but I could actually see that working.
Yeah, it's a hilarious show.
I mean, I'm sure it was a good script,
I
right?
mean, yeah, I visualized the whole thing. I was like, that's funny.
He got to the end.
Yeah, I want casting approval of the guys. Of course.
Yes. So, Lucy, knowing that like your dad has done all these different things, have you thought about your career and like what's the different thing you want to do, or what's the next big thing you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of been really excited by. I mean, I've been acting and wanting to do more, TV, film stuff, but I've also been getting more involved in producing. And
oh, nice.
So yeah, we're producing together. We produced Little Demon, and we're working on a few other projects. Movies, and I'm kind of like excited about the idea of like before. I think like earlier on I was very focused on just like wanting to get myself out there and be, I don't know, taken seriously as an actor. And then now I still want that, but also I want to be able to generate my own stuff.
Right.
And also give my friends who I think are, talented or talented other artists and writers, actors, voices that, if I have that opportunity to tell a story and give someone an opportunity, that's great.
I'd have to imagine there was a point where it was like, hey, I'm a really good actor. I'm not just Danny Devito. Like, was there a point in your career where it's like, oh, okay, now I feel comfortable. Like, I don't have to not run from it, but like, I don't have to look over my shoulder being like, why are this person just thinks I'm Danny DeVito's daughter.
I moved to New York, like in my early 20s, and did theater and lived here for about 12 years. Because I needed the actual physical distance, and just like to, I needed to get my sea legs basically, and also like, Hollywood is like a totally different beast, Like I grew up in it, and I'm there now. I live in LA, but I appreciate theater and kind of old school acting, and I felt like I still needed to have my education and experience, and I feel like I always still need that.
Yeah.
But I did feel like I needed to remove myself and do my own thing, and it was great. And I love New York. I love the theater. I would love to come back and do more stuff.
And it's got to be awesome now that you guys are at a point where you're working together all the time, and it's got to be very fulfilling as a dad, I'm sure.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's really good.
We have a lot of fun
We just
together.
we just went to Dorset, Vermont, which is way up there, in a little theater up there. We were up there for 4 days, and we did a workshop of a play that we're a three-hander that was written by Teresa Rhoback, and that we're hoping to do together some as soon as we get it. You need to work it, So we did some. We've done it twice. A workshop, just sitting around a table reading the script. And so it'd be great to continue working together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
Is it more competitive trying to be a theater actor than it is trying to act on television or in movies?
Yeah, I think it's well, I don't know. It's a competitive. It's just a different thing. Actors go through, like when I was breaking out doing it, I was off Broadway, children's theater, what do you call it, summer stock, worked in, traveling around doing little plays, whatever you could get, and then you get a break. Like Cuckoo's Nest was a real big break to go to California, and then 3 or 4 years later of just everybody thinking that I was Martini, I got Taxi. So it's like, if you're in the right place at the right time and those things kick off, then you get very lucky. I was really fortunate to be there. And then you have to be ready. So like Lucy was saying, if you get your chops, doing theater and doing little things.
I felt like theater for me when I was younger. It's just more immediate too. Like you can get up and do something with your friends, and I used to do things like where we would go and do short plays at bars in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like we would do that kind of like stuff, or just put on a night of one acts here and there. You know, and so like there's something about that immediacy of it where you're like, I just want to get up and do something.
Yeah.
You know, and whereas with TV and film, it takes a crew, it takes a long time to edit and all that kind of stuff. And also when I was starting off, like the internet wasn't what it is now. So and I'm still like not internet savvy. So like for me, it's like I'm more comfortable being with like what's in the space, what can we use here, not like how do I project it out into onto YouTube kind of thing.
Right.
So
getting feedback immediately must be a difference too. Like if you're in a play, you can understand if the audience is feeling it. You kind of like get the vibe.
Exactly.
If you're doing television or a movie, you have to wait. And then, you think that what you just made was good, but then you have to wait for the audience.
it's also like a community, you know, because you like hang out with the people who were in the show and who were seeing the show afterwards. So it's like I think that I really like that about it. You can have the conversations immediately afterwards.
Yeah, that's great. But now with the internet, it's like there's almost too much immediate feedback.
Yeah,
for
oh
certain
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Instantly.
So
people won't even watch, and they'll be like, "This sucks."
Yeah, totally.
You like change up everything that you're doing because like 5 people tell you when it comes out that it sucks.
Yeah.
With Taxi, we did Taxi in front of an audience. So that was really the best of both. You know, they shot the show with 4 cameras. We blocked it. We rehearsed all week. It was really great. And then on Friday night, we would shoot the show in front of an audience. So there were 300 people there. So you got that feedback, immediate feedback from the audience, and you also got it on film.
Yeah.
And that was really great.
Yeah,
and we had a great director who, Jimmy Burrows, he had this technique where if you were going to blow a joke, like, you flub a line and you're about to get to the punchline, he would you go like this. He would stop everything. You know what I mean? So we would just stop and
in front of the audience.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and then back up. It was like the audience was hip to the fact that it was, we're filming it. We used to shoot on film. It wasn't even tape. It was these big cameras in the 70s and 80s, and they were hip to the fact that they were watching something that was going to be on television. So we break it up. Sometimes we do a scene over. Sometimes we'd go back and do whole things over, like an act. It was like 20-something minutes to show, or whatever it was. But the idea is that we would go back and do. So if you were in the middle of a run and you had a punchline and you were getting close to it and you fucked up a word, Jimmy would go, bop, 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 and then we would go back to the beginning of the run so that we would keep the joke for the audience, and it worked really well, and that was like a tribute to this guy. Yeah,
that's great.
That's really smart. Yeah.
So we were talking to you guys before. We are a sports podcast. I only have one sports question.
Go for it.
Because you guys are in the theater world, actor world, doing different movies, TV shows. Do you guys watch any sports?
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually watch basketball when it gets to like playoffs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like LeBron?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Like,
wrong.
I honestly, because he's on the Lakers now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess I'm an LA girl, so I have to like
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
But it's always fascinating to us because our life is sports. So we
Right.
like talking to people who don't,
Yeah.
they're not watching, the NFL starts tonight and we've just been excited all day. Like that kind of thing
right.
where it's like on a Sunday, you just live your life.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You're an alien to us.
Can you unpack that a little bit? Like, what do you do? Just setting up a hypothetical situation. It's October 17th. It's a Sunday. It's 52 degrees outside. Sunny.
Yeah.
You have all day. What do you do?
It's been so many years since you guys have had a Sunday.
What do you do?
Yeah,
Like,
really.
it's just like what you do.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
do so many things. You could go to a museum. You could.
Nah.
Whoa.
No, what? No, I
Sell
like
us.
museums.
Sell us on not watching football. Museum's not a great selling
go
point.
to the beach.
Okay.
October.
It's 53.
But we're in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
all
You
right.
know, you go out to
Yeah.
the beach. You get some Malibu seafood. You sit
Okay.
out by the thing.
Do Do you see when you go get the Malibu seafood? Is there like a game on? You're like, oh, I wonder what that is.
I don't know.
This is
See,
yeah.
I don't know. I that's not part. I don't.
Yeah, like when we talk to people like you, it's like we're going to like South America and finding a tribe that like doesn't interact with our world.
They don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
So like on a normal
use
Sunday,
that? What do you call that?
Yeah.
Just a fork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
on a Sunday, do you ever run into just like groups of men that are dressed similar and they're drunk and angry?
Yeah, but I avoid.
That's our tribe.
I
Those
avoid
are our
Midtown.
tribes.
Okay, so you avoid our tribe, we avoid your. We're like that the Sentinelese Island that's off the coast of India.
You're
right
gonna you're gonna
No,
canoe
that's-
out in that red shirt. You're gonna bring us football.
Yes,
exactly. Have some wampum, baby.
But I don't dislike sports. I just don't know them that
Well,
well.
we used to always
my-
go once in a while. We'd go to
We
a
go to
game.
basketball game, baseball game.
Yeah.
I don't know NFL honestly, but actually, my brother-in-law he's from Georgia.
Oh,
so he
he's a
likes
dog.
That's a culture
he
shock,
likes
yeah.
the dogs.
Yeah.
He's a dog
Go
fan.
Big
dogs.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go dogs.
Yeah, they just won the national championship.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like into like I actually friend of mine and I have been toying with this. We're gonna do a show actually, a show that we're trying to put together, and it's called Game 7.
Ooh, now you have our interest.
Aha!
Best two
They
words in sports.
They perked up
Exactly.
these two
Yeah,
guys.
they did.
You know, it's like the whole thing.
They were
the
sleeping
whole
before.
side of-
Yeah,
that side of the
everything has been
room.
boring up until now.
It could
That side
honestly.
of the room was like wilting a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
we're like,
going, he's not
Game
gonna listen to all this
7, go
acting
on.
bullshit.
It could be a black and white
you
French
just
film
all of a sudden-
Yeah.
with subtitles.
Game 7.
But you call it Game 7, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll read all those
Yeah,
titles.
so
yeah.
it's about that moment, that thing, a Game 7 moment that just before,
Yes.
how do you prepare for it? There's so many of them. And I remember mine. I had a Game 7. I'm not a sports guy. I do watch it. I watch all the, the various sports once in a while when there's a playoff like Lucy was talking about. And that's when I'm a sports fan. I like the World Series. I like the, all that stuff. But my Game 7 was this. Okay, it was everybody has them. We have a lot of them. We just think of them only as sports things. But my Game 7 was the day that we were going to do the pilot for Taxi. It was like there was so much anticipation for this. I mean, this was big, man, because this was like, and we worked on it. We rehearsed. We had 10 days of rehearsal. We were all going. We were all, getting tuned, which is what it is. And Jim Brooks, who is one of the producers, sent me a little creepy little plant, right? And on it, it had a card, and it said, "Dear Danny, as Louis De Palma would say, if you don't do good tonight, you'll be eating shit tomorrow."
That's Game 7.
That's
Yeah,
Game
it's
7.
Game 7.
Game
baby.
7.
You know what I mean?
I'm just going back through my life.
Go
I've had
for 'em.
several
Yeah.
You've
Game
had a lot
7.
of Game
Yeah.
7s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big
that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah. Everyone has
So
Game 7s.
we're planning a show right now that we're gonna do.
That's awesome. So I had one last question. Everyone go watch Little Demon on FXX on Thursday nights, and then you can watch it on Hulu the next day. This has been fantastic. It's the Rhoback question, RHOBACK. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, hoodies, polos, everything, Rhoback.com. Danny, do you know that, I assume you do know this, but there was a change.org for you to be the next Wolverine?
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
it has 61,000 signatures.
Holy shit!
Wow.
The entire campaign was Hugh Jackman, obviously retired from being Wolverine.
Right.
There's only one man to fill that role. It is Danny DeVito.
Should I?
Well, the reasoning is actually there's two reasons.
Yes.
They only had two. But they said Danny DeVito's height is a lot closer to the comic book's portrayal of Wolverine.
Right. There you
So
go.
Wolverine in the comic book is 5'3".
Great.
And secondly, we all saw Danny's portrayal of the Trash Man, so we know he's fully capable of fighting and he's not afraid to get things dirty.
I'm not afraid to get dirty.
Yeah, so
No,
you're
and
Wolverine.
I am pumped, baby. No, I'm like
You're talking to the next Wolverine.
You're
Holy
this is the
shitballs.
next Wolverine.
There you
I mean,
go.
that's the only thing that you haven't accomplished, right?
I'm gonna do it. I'll do
Is
it.
Marvel? Is Wolverine Marvel?
Yeah, one of those.
Marvel?
Let's go for it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Get those fans, get me the job.
I pulled it up.
61,000.
It's 2019 it was created, but if you pull it up, People are still signing it as
Let
of
'em go.
3 hours ago.
Yeah, let's
Oh, wow.
baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
take it up
and
to
it,
6 figures.
yeah, it said that they needed to get 75,000 signatures. I think Hollywood just has to do it then.
They're going to
It's
do it.
75,000.
That's all they got to do,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Go for
Yeah, I
it.
That's
guess
how you
so.
got your first role.
That's exactly how I got it.
75,000 signatures.
Yep.
Boom. It's that easy. But thank you guys. This has been really, really fun.
Yep.
Lucy and Danny DeVito, we appreciate it. Go watch Little Demon on FXX on Thursday nights and on Hulu the next day. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, let's wrap up. Again, this show has been taken over by Dazn. I'm in Vegas right now, Dazn.com. Buy the fight. You'll hear us on the broadcast, Canelo Triple G. It's going to be a great night. Hank, your Fyre Fest.
Wednesday's show, and it is what it is. It's more just like you guys use Twitter more than I do. You guys take it a little more seriously than I do. I just like to spit off hot takes, but then sometimes I get trapped. And I get in these fucking arguments with people, and I get pissed off, even though I know Twitter is not real life and it's the dumbest shit ever.
But it's healthy every now and then to just spout off.
I was spouting. So the Seahawks take, which was correct, and the Andrew Luck take, which was correct. I've had people fucking bitching and complaining, DMs, and then they're reaching out they're going on my Instagram DMs. They're going on every single way they can reach out to be like, you're a fucking idiot. Andrew Luck was great, even though he was 4-4 in the playoffs. And then they're like, oh, his offensive line. They had a great offensive line, and he quit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my Fyre Fest is just that I've gotten too emotionally invested in these really dumb
That's okay.
arguments that no one can be right or wrong, and everyone's got an opinion one way or the other.
That's
So
the
it really
best.
doesn't matter.
I think
But Andrew Luck bust. Seahawks bad sports town.
Okay.
Fact. Game over. And debate.
I think the Andrew
Have a
Luck
nice
take.
weekend.
The Andrew Luck take is it's reasonable to say that he didn't deliver on what people thought he was going to be, but at the same time, with the Seattle take, I think what people got really mad about is when you said you deserve to lose the Sonics.
Yeah, that was a joke.
because the Sonics just straight up they left. They fucked over the city of Seattle, and that's a wound that is still very, very fresh. But yeah, I admire the strong takes, Hank.
Yeah.
If Andrew Luck got drafted to the Commanders and the Bears and went 4-4 in the playoffs, never even went to a Super Bowl, and
I'd
was
love
hyped
him
as
forever.
build a
I would love him
statue.
forever.
Biggest
Yeah.
Build a
quarterback
statue,
prospect
tear down
of
the
all
Washington
time.
Monument, and just put a statue of his giant
I
head.
just the people that are making excuses for him disgust me.
I would make all the excuses for him under the hypothetical you just threw out there.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Win 4
Yeah.
playoff games. Hank, the last time the Commanders won a playoff game was 2005, and we scored 1 offensive touchdown.
So, Bears won 1 in 2010, then lost to the Packers in the NFC Championship game. So, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm talking to the fucking
Yeah,
poor
you're
over
barking
here,
up the wrong tree, buddy.
Mark Brunell had 52 yards passing in a playoff victory. That's the highlight of my career as a Commanders fan.
I would
understand that.
Even knowing that Andrew Luck retired early, I'd suck your dick to have Andrew Luck as my quarterback retroactively. Even knowing he's retired, to have had that for a few years.
I'd let him spit it into my mouth.
that's just fact. Also on the Twitter thing, I don't like when people are like, "Oh, you're triggered if you reply." You should reply every now and then. It's fun to reply. It's fun to set people straight, get in pointless arguments. That's what's the point of Twitter if you're not going to do that?
There is no point in Twitter.
There is no point exactly, but replying should not be frowned upon.
No.
I think the big time media people who never reply, they're way worse because they're basically like, I'm not going to get in the mud ever.
Except for Skip Bayless.
It's not even the mud. I just I take it. I usually don't take it seriously at all. And then yesterday I'm replying, giving honest replies, and then everyone's being like, "You're a fucking idiot. This is wrong." It's like, no, you're wrong. And it's like, wait, no, this is never getting settled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was right.
There's no winner of this debate.
No.
Besides me, but correct.
Besides you, yeah, you did win. Okay, PFT.
My Fyre Fest of the week is that I let Billy Football inject chemicals into my body.
Yeah.
Not as a joke. I guess it was as a joke, but the second it goes into your body, it's impossible to get ironically given medicine into your bloodstream.
Correct.
So
your body's not your body can't be like, oh, this is just a prank.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
did he inject?
Research chemicals. So
What does that mean, though?
Listen,
They're
Hank,
researching them still.
I hate explaining it out loud makes me feel like the world's biggest moron because I actually did let Billy inject me with
Correct.
unproven medicine to try to fix my arm.
It's
and
peptide.
It's whatever it is. Billy was so incompetent when it came to the preparation and injection of these chemicals. I had probably 50 times when it was a giant red blinking sign saying,
Stop,
turn around, do not let Billy do this. And I kept powering through it. It's going to be on PMTV, which I think comes out tonight. No, Thursday night.
Thursday night.
This on Friday.
It will be out by the time this releases.
But Billy filled up these syringes, and he just started,
that sentence alone.
He started to laugh, and he got a case of the giggles. You never want your doctor to have a case of the giggles as he's about to inject you. And then he starts doing the thing. You know how you see in like ER and shows on TV where they flick the vial to get the bubbles to go to the top to get rid of the air bubbles? Billy's holding the syringe upside down and flicking the vials.
Oh my God.
And I have to stop him and tell him like what to do. And then I put my arm out, and Billy took an actual hypodermic needle, put it into my skin.
Insulin needle.
And injected chemicals that are God knows what.
Yeah, you're psycho.
And then afterwards, I sat there for like 15 minutes, just seriously reevaluating all the choices that I've made to lead myself to that place in life.
Yep.
And also just kind of thinking through worst case scenarios of things that could happen to me, because I let Billy Football inject me with medicine that he basically invented.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed any side effects?
That's in your head.
I was pretty strong at the. I did go to the gym to work out yesterday, just to test it out, and I think they might have worked.
So yeah, I was gonna say,
like low-key, I think it worked.
Saved you from surgery.
The biggest question is, when's the next injection?
It's never gonna happen.
What?
It's never gonna.
I mean, you have to stay on the cycle.
No, it's never gonna happen.
No, it's just. I mean, it's still tune-up.
Okay.
Billy,
but what if he needs another tune-up?
Billy was.
You got to put oil in your car.
Billy was more nervous before than I was. After it happened, I'm a million times more regretful of it than Bill.
Are you scared that like this stuff has
everything.
been researched?
Yes.
Dude,
That's a good. Yes, that's one of many reasons why I'm scared. I'm also scared of myself.
Yeah, your own decision making.
Yes, that made me very scared
Correct.
of myself. To be like just 2 days ago, I thought it was a good idea to let, of all people,
Should I tell?
Billy Football.
What?
So you know how it came with
What?
Or should I let him?
What?
You know how it came with 2 vials?
Yeah.
Well, because it's a research chemical, they give you 2 vials, and one's placebo.
Okay.
You got him with the placebo?
You got saline.
Oh.
Okay. So I still let Billy. First of all, you're
Wait,
lying.
now he needs to get the real one.
Yeah.
though.
First of all, Billy's lying about this, and second of all, I still let
Hank
Billy.
seems to be in the know. I'm not.
Why do they send you 2 vials?
Because
research.
It's research. One's the placebo.
He actually put the real one in me, and I'm super strong.
I gave
How do you know which one's the placebo though?
Because it came with directions. It was. Did you see the charge on your card?
You asked me to Cash App some like Mexican pharmaceutical provider. Again, this entire thing has been a laundry list of terrible decisions that I've made.
But now you have to get the real
Billy
one.
basically took the good stuff for himself and then gave you water.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is true or not, and frankly, I don't care, because I'm not afraid of what's in my body. I'm afraid of the fact that I let Billy do this. And I thought it was a good idea to have Billy put medicine in my body.
Yeah.
I don't care what was in my body. It was whatever it was a series of maybe the worst decisions I've ever made in my life.
Yeah. I would.
So I'd like to announce
that,
I'm quitting cold turkey,
Saline.
letting Billy inject me with various liquids.
I mean, that's a hard Firefest to beat. My Firefest was just my game of the year debacle, and I still haven't really recovered sleep wise because I slept about 4 hours on Saturday night, and I went 0-7 on Sunday. So, but you know what? It's early. It's early in the season. Mm-hmm. Only way to go, but up. Right?
Now, would you have made it your game of the year if Lizzie hadn't died?
No, I just added her on. I would not have made it my game of the year if I had known both the BYU's top receivers were out.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. But I'm no coward.
Yep.
I don't fucking back down.
Puka was out.
Yeah. Tom Petty. We're not backing down.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And Romney.
That was his thing?
Romney's grandson is on the team. He was one of the wide receivers out.
No shit.
Yeah, he's actually
Romney
really
was
good.
Out?
Yeah.
Romney's an awesome
I can't remember what his first name is. It's like probably Scout or something.
Yeah, I actually think it would be. That's probably the name of like 7 of Sam Ponder's kids.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Gunner.
This is wild.
Gunner Romney.
Oh, it's not Baylor?
No, it's Gunner Romney.
He's got a kid
Oh,
named
he's done with
Yeah.
Baylor Romney.
Gunner Romney is the
Baylor
wide
Romney.
receiver who's actually pretty good.
Baylor is done with football.
We should have
as of
guessed
this year,
Gunner.
but that would have been
That's
wild.
the Gunner is
if
definitely.
Baylor was playing against Baylor.
Like Tripper would have been another one.
I wonder if he's I don't know if he's his son or his it must be his grandson.
It must be
Yeah,
grandson. Yeah.
grandson.
How awesome would it be if there was an incredible wide receiver in the NFL named Romney, and also the most dominant center in the NBA was Barron Trump?
Yeah. Yeah. Barron and Bronny.
That'd
would
be so
the
funny.
greatest
Yeah.
setup ever. Okay. Billy?
My first Fyre Fest is that it turns out High Point is in North Carolina, not Virginia. Everyone got like super mad.
Yeah,
for that.
I didn't correct you on that
That's
because
not-
I was just letting you cook. And
Yeah, that's
who
also
cares?
not-
They're right next to
That's
each
not
other.
something people
That's
should get
not
mad
true.
about.
It's in Greensboro. I
High
think.
Point did beat UVA at lacrosse like a couple years ago, and it was a really big deal.
Where were you?
Uh,
Oh, you're going on Sunday, right?
next Sunday.
No, this
Sunday.
you're going this
Yeah.
Sunday. The Water Dogs.
Oh,
are the
yes,
championship
yes.
game.
Actually, I have a shirt for you that should be arriving hopefully tomorrow, so you got to look out for it.
Okay.
It's a purple shirt that just says owners, and it's just a picture of me, PFT, and Hank. So I want you to wear that
perfect.
to
Yeah.
accept the trophy.
Yeah.
Jake,
So Billy's going to go to the Water Dogs game. He'll be back for Sunday night, and he'll be able to give us a live report of how it went.
yes.
Can you bring the trophy back?
Yeah, you should
I'm gonna
steal
take it.
it.
I'm gonna be
Steal
like, hey, no.
Yeah.
This comes with me.
Yeah. Listen, we paid for this. Okay?
Yeah.
This is
So
ours.
make sure you get that shirt because it's
I
probably
will.
coming to the office.
I mean, that's
I got it.
that's the most iconic moment in sports when the commissioner hands the trophy to the owner.
Yeah.
Before the players get to touch it. We need Billy. They hand you that trophy, and then you just go full heel on it. You're like, who put this all together?
Yeah, look at right here.
Jake
Owners.
might also be coming.
Great.
Not sure, but it should be a great time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go Water Dogs.
Yeah.
Don't disappoint us. And then
Or do. We don't care.
And then I burnt myself making salmon.
Oh, that's tough.
Where?
It was like a pan.
Well, where did you burn yourself?
In the kitchen?
My
Is that what you're
foot.
saying?
Your foot?
The whole thing of salmon fell on my foot.
It's a Michael Scott injury? You're going to say your hand. Your
Bro,
foot.
there's no way
The
that a
top of your
salmon
foot?
was hot enough.
No, you're saying the actual.
So I put on my gloves. I was taking the pan out of the oven, and then I put it on the freaking stovetop, and then it fell, and one of the pieces of salmon fell on my foot.
Oh, the salmon actually burned.
Yeah,
you.
the
So it is a
salmon.
Michael Scott injury.
You got burned by a fish.
Yeah,
That's tough. That's a tough.
and you
look
have to
for
eat
you.
salmon because you can't eat red meat.
I've been cutting back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
that is rough, Billy. I'm sorry.
Salmon's good.
Should've been wearing your
Tuna's the beef of the sea. Salmon's the
Chicken of the sea.
Pork.
No, tuna's the chicken of the sea.
Tuna's the beef of the sea. I like that.
It's literally on the
red.
can.
It's red. It's red.
It's on the
beef.
can.
The beef of,
chicken
no,
of the
I like
What
that.
was
Billy.
the
Beef of the sea.
Jessica Simpson one?
Yeah, the chicken of the sea. Is
Yeah.
it chicken or is it fish?
That's shrimp,
Yeah.
right? Bubba gum.
Bubba
Anyway.
Gump is shrimp. Yeah.
The
So
tuna cans literally say chicken of the sea.
were you cooking barefoot?
Yeah, I was cooking barefoot because I was
Barefoot
work
and
out
pregnant.
while I-
That's the Billy football way. In the kitchen. Dance on a Saturday night. All right, Jake, finish us off.
Yeah, so I love Rhoback. Me and Billy are rocking my Rhoback, and I lost one of my favorite Rhoback shirts.
Oh, no. Where
It's
could
a
we
blue-
ever find more?
It's a blue shirt, but I'm really devastated.
What's on it?
I wear it like 3 or 4 days a week. I wear Rhoback 3 or 4 days a
The
week.
same
It's
shirt?
this one, but blue.
Okay.
Okay.
If
I
you're watching on YouTube.
tell you what,
We'll get
Jake,
you another
just
one.
because we
Thank
like you
you.
so much, I'm gonna get you another Rhoback
Yeah,
shirt.
we're going to
Thank
make
you.
sure that gets you.
Yeah.
gets
And
to you.
luckily, I can use 20% off with
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean
RHOBAC
you will be reimbursing me
Code take.
Yeah.
for it, but I will get you another.
But yeah,
one.
it's devastating.
That is devastating.
yeah.
That's absolutely devastating. Okay, let's do numbers. Hank, have you gotten this before?
What?
The number. Correct.
I don't know.
All right, Paramount Plus, NFL on CBS, streaming live on Paramount Plus all season long, kicking off. Watch your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday at home on your TV or any device on the go. Catch feature holiday matchups on Thanksgiving and Christmas and 3 postseason games, including the AFC Championship game. Go to ParamountPlus.com to start your free trial to watch your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, as well as additional exclusive NFL content. Thank you to Paramount Plus, sponsoring the lottery ball machine. Billy?
The craziest stat is that the like probability of not guessing the number is equivalent to like guessing the ball like 20 times.
That's just not
Wow.
fucking
Damn,
true
that's wild.
whatsoever.
Hank, do you want to take 12 for Seattle?
Nah.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
take 12.
Okay.
Let's go 12s.
13.
26. We are going for history here. We have never gotten as a group 3 in a row.
Oh wow,
We've
Wow,
gotten
what a
two
pressure.
twice.
a lot of
69.
60. All right, I'll go with
I was just making up fucking stats.
I'll go with nine.
No,
I'll go with
it's like getting
70.
it 20 times.
79.
There's no way
for,
that's true.
I'll go with 79 for when the Sonics won the NBA title.
Love it.
I'll
Let's
go 20.
Seattle. This
20.
one's
20.
for the fine people of the Pacific Northwest.
Hank, what's your number?
13.
Is 69 in this one?
Yes.
With the new balls, are we sure?
Why? Because it just hasn't come up like once in the 15 times you've done it.
What do we got?
Oh my God. 32. I saw the 2 and I thought it was going to be a 12.
Damn.
That would have been all time. 32.
Would you pick, Hank?
13?
Oh, 30. That's not 32.
13. Nope.
Okay.
Not even close to 32. All right. We'll see everyone on Monday.
Love you guys. 12 would have been so good.
Animal fact?
Armadillos are the only animal that also has leprosy besides humans.